Yeah, no, I am not exposing any of us to minors. Fuck that. All right.
Okay,
You need
So-
to have a parental warning slapped on us.
All right. So we are live. Apparently.
Have you definitely got it set to mature? I've been able to like just. Oh, I'm following you, so maybe that's what it's not. But like I refreshed it and it didn't go to this stream is mature. Do you want
That's
to
weird.
accept?
Hold on. Let me double check my settings.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't want the children's showing up.
Channel. No, not.
I am 12, and what is this?
Hello, fellow children.
God,
All
stop
right.
it! Stop it! The algorithm will literally ban us all.
Yup. All right. Settings. Run Twitch on startup
Because
software
I just said
rendering.
it while
That's
Arcrat
preferences.
was not here. Arcrat, just a fair warning. I will be slipping in and out of just an atrocious British accent. I do not plan to be consistent or good about anything.
You're very welcome. If you've listened to my if you've listened to my Sherlock Holmes streams, you will know that I can't do an American accent for shit. So it's all good.
You do your best.
I mean,
I want to be better.
I don't know, like,
gonna say,
Bun is set to mature, I think, and it only asked me once. But, like, because I follow Bun, I think is why, but I know I do have it set to mature.
Okay. What were you
now
gonna say, Yin, about my terrible
no, I was actually going to bring up. Do you remember in that one podcast when I was going, "Oh, me mammy's never brewed eggshells"? me.
I don't. That sounds amazing, though.
That was the one. No, you were there for that. That was one of your. That was the. We were talking about.
I don't know what you mean.
changelings.
I don't recall this at all. I don't know what you mean.
I'm a big fucking liar.
I have no memory of this podcast.
Channel.
Do not make me rage. The internet is just a series of tubes, and I will reach through all of them to find you.
Oh,
Yeah. Hello,
fun.
hello, Menor. I can see your name. You're watching us. That's cool. Right.
All right. Cool. So, this is an RP that you can all listen to us play if you want. I'm a terrible showman, so we're just gonna get started. Anyway.
Cool.
Listen, watch.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Have you got a Twitter at all?
I do. I really should link that to my Twitch one day, shouldn't I?
Yeah. No worries. I got you covered.
Oh boy. An audience. Delightful.
What's the channel called?
This channel? Bad Fan Sub.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, bad fan sub?
Bad Fan Sub. There's a story there.
There we go.
There's a reason for all of it. I will be happy to explain the origin story of that name at another venture?
Marvelous.
Juncture is what I mean. Alright. So, yeah, this is... Hello. So this is just an RP that me and some friends are going to play, and I suppose we should all introduce ourselves. So we'll just go down the list. AK!
Very good. Should we also introduce our characters, or will that come later?
We can introduce our characters now. That works.
Very good. All right. I am AK, or Akantarian, and I am the Barbarian Librarian and General Goblin and Connoisseur of Trash. And in this game, I will be playing Professor Mulligan Whackbat, PhD.
All right. Arcrat.
Hello, everybody. Very good to have you with us for this inaugural playthrough of the Nebulous collection. I hope you're ready for a journey most thrilling, dive into treasures and horrors abound. And we'll guide you as best as we can through here. I myself, well, you can call me the Acquirer, unless you hear a name otherwise. And it will be me you hear it from. Talented scout and explorer.
Oh, thanks,
I'm here
Bun.
to find I'm here to find whatever it is you need, however you need, for the right price. But if you cross me, pay the price. Hello, one and all.
Okay, I guess I'm next. I'm Nick, local bisexual disaster and trash goblin extraordinaire.
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Right,
Good night,
character.
everybody.
Character, right. Yes.
I'm
I will be
Development
playing
Director.
Havelock Chamberlain. Basically just Lovecraftian scholar who sort of stumbled backwards into the the museum. Something of an aficionado of the eldritch or the dark arts and eldritch shit. Oh, more dark academia, more coke, less gender. I love
That's
Yeen's.
my line.
It's good. It's a good line, and I'm stealing
Thank
it
you.
now.
Thank you
Magi.
very
Hey, it's
much.
yours. I grant it to you welcomely.
Yay.
I thought it summed us up pretty well.
It does.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yep. All right, Magi, you're next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Magi Mercer. I will be playing the Doctor. I am joined by my cat, who you may or may not hear. His name is Alistair. The Doctor is a surgeon of mysterious origin, and they will be, throughout this campaign, more than likely hacking off their own limbs and replacing them with better ones. They are all about self-improvement, and they have come to the library because improvement is not simply a physical thing. It is hello, Bun. Improvement is also Bun. Improvement is also of the mind.
Bun is an improvement.
Truly a treasure, and I am so glad to see them in the chat.
Yeah, seriously. Also, thanks for the host, Bun. All right. And, you're next, Ian.
I guess I am.
Hi, Magpie.
So, I'm Yeen. You probably know me as the backseat driver on Bun's streams. Some of you may also know me from my own channel, Cacklecraft. And I'm going to be playing Sedge, or as her full name goes, Smoking Sedgegrass of the Ninth Temple, born for the Soot Gulls and of the Ink-Stained. Basically, I'm a alien-human hybrid with exactly zero sense of humor, and I am brand new to this whole world.
All right.
Marvelous.
I'm even more excited to start now. So, all right, Sedge, then let's start with your introduction to this. You've spoken to those who it is relevant to. Wow, I'm bad at words. You've talked to the relevant people, and you are to make your journey through the door. It stands
Okay.
open before you. You are unable to see anything beyond it.
All right. Question: do we want to do this in first person or third person? This
That
doesn't
is
matter.
entirely up to you.
I imagine
I
we'll be
will-
alternating. as
Yeah,
needed.
I alternate a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just probably oscillate as I need to.
Yeah.
All right. So Sedge kind of checks herself over. She looks at all of her gear, at all the things that she has. There's a definitive moment of wanting to turn back, wanting to leave, but knowing that that's not really an option, so she just has to make sure she's got everything. And to the best of her knowledge, she does. She picks up her gun, her long rifle, and she walks through that door. And initially, it's blackness and sort of a sensation of who knows what's happening. Maybe I'm
Mm.
walking, maybe I'm not.
Mm.
Maybe there's a light at the end of over there. Maybe it's not. I don't know what's happening to me. And eventually, I presume, she pops out into the museum or the library. We can't seem to decide which, and I kind of like that. It's the tower that's not a tower.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little of both, I think.
It's plenty of both, yeah. All right. So, you emerge into a tastefully decorated lobby in what could be a museum, perhaps. And you are greeted by what has to be one of the most sinister looking people you've ever seen. Like, this person is just dapper, but like real gangly, hair slicked back, can't see. Like, their eyes are just pitch black, no pupil, no iris. And they're just like smiling in this vaguely sinister way. Welcome, Miss Sedge, to the Nebulous collection. I do hope your stay here is enlightening.
The what?
The Nebulous collection, this establishment.
Okay. Are 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 there others? Where are the others? The ones the other
Others.
tithes. Where are the other tithes? Where are they?
Ah, yes, the tithes. Every now and then we have use for your people's talents. Mayhap you'll encounter some of them in your time here. In the meantime, however, your colleagues are waiting in the Athenaeum.
All right. Point me in the right direction, please. I'll find the rest of my way.
But of course. And they hand you a very tastefully well-made brochure. Including featuring a map.
Hold on. Check what font it is, because if it's papyrus, you want to get the fuck out of here.
There's no going back, I'm
I
afraid.
do make sure it's properly kerned. You'll never know.
I turned behind myself and I noticed that I've walked out of a solid fucking wall.
You have. Yeah, there's no door.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by chat since I have it up. Waz,
Yeah,
what's
same.
that ticking noise? It's a pipe bomb!
Yay. Good night, everyone.
Anyway, so I take the brochure.
Mm-hmm.
I have a moment where I do not think I can read it, and then suddenly I can.
Yup.
And I make my way towards the
And it is one of those, like...
the Athenaeum?
Yep.
I'm reading this, and you picture this. You know, Sedge is reading this map, trying to read it, trying to work her mouth around sounds that she's not used to making,
Yep.
and walking down the hall, with the map, with the brochure, excuse me, it's not a map, it's a brochure in one hand and the gun in the other.
Yep. I mean, the brochure has one of those maps that you find in, like, generic, like, I'm talking, like, full cartoon, like, you are here with a big arrow.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
and she has no idea what to make out of any of this.
Eerily enough, the you are here arrow and dot seems to be moving as you do.
Yep.
But yeah, there does seem to be an indicator over this Athenaeum place that you're looking for. And,
Oh, a quest!
Beware of any glowing exclamation points.
Oh no. So yes, so I presume is like, what does this look like on the inside? Are we just presuming like standard issue Victorian museum? Or like, are
For
there
now.
doors? Do I have to pull the doors open?
There are doors. It doesn't take you long to find the Athenaeum, clearly labeled as such outside by a lovely plaque. And, big double doors. I don't know. What kind of wood should they be made of? Oak is no
Mahogany.
Black-
mahogany.
Mahogany.
That is mahogany.
Yep.
Don't scratch it.
Yep. All right. So yeah, you've reached your destination. How do you proceed?
Sedge has like almost no processing of some things, and so she just shoves the door open.
All right.
Or pulls it. She may have to like oscillate from one to the other.
That's fine. You
Wait, do you revolve and oscillate?
I'm sure you'll get it by your third try.
No, that's a toothbrush. Or a vibrator. Make your own jokes.
I think I am.
They're both good for gums.
Right. So, you try to push the door, and it turns out it's a pull open.
So I pull on the door.
Yep. And, yeah, inside you find, I have the slideshow running right now, and with
Yeah.
all of 2 images, and we'll add more as time goes on. This is a very, roughshod
guessing-
pilot, but
I'm guessing this one with all the books, which looks like the
Yes.
Oxford or the library in Dublin,
I
is what I walk into.
pretty much, yeah. At least for the first bit, though this place is big. Like, really big.
5.5-minute hallway big.
Not quite that big, but you're not, yeah, like, just real big. Big enough.
Okay.
And, yeah, sitting around, you see, like, various people, and you've never seen a lot of the, like, types of creatures here and there. There's not tons of people around, but there are, like, a few here and there. Enough that there's activity always. There's always something happening.
Like people shelving books or people.
Some. A couple of,
Okay.
like, 1 or 2 is, like, shelving books or, like, at the desk, clearly, like, doing, like, actual librarian things.
Mm-hmm.
Others are, like, sitting down, reading, talking in small groups. A lot of them are, like, smoking pipes or cigars or whatever else. And let's see. As you look further along, you start to some of the character of the library seems to change a bit. The further from the door you get, as your eyes move further along the shelves and such, you start noticing that some of the shelves have like rods of metal along the edges that seem to just like spark every now and then. And even further on, you see like the bookshelves are very sparsely populated because each book is on its own little pedestal and like bound in chains.
Mm-hmm.
And sitting at a table near the end of that is a very elegantly dressed person. You'd be hard pressed to put a gender or much of an age to them. And they're seem to be minding their own business, just having a smoke and reading a book and writing notes in something, just some sort of chapbook, you assume. And, the only thing that strikes you as strange about them is these glowing marks all over their body.
All right. So
Yeah, they
no.
seem almost recognizable to you somehow.
all right.
Or the marks, I
So-
should say.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the marks. Yeah, no, I Sedge just kind of she's walked down this. She kind of drops her rifle butt on the ground
Mm.
and is kind of staring around her. And she keeps. It's rude to stare, and she knows that, but she keeps flicking her eyes back to those tattoos. She's trying to figure out what she's looking at,
Mm-hmm.
but she can't place it. And it's like, and just the weirdness of everything is starting to creep up on her a little bit.
That's fair. How far away is she standing?
Probably. I'm presuming that, like, in the picture, like, you've got these long sort of like hallways that extend with the bookshelves on either side.
Mhm.
So she's like dead center in the aisle, more or less, staring down the aisle at this person,
All
wherever they
right.
are in that, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Okay. So after a couple minutes of that, like they almost sort of start to feel your attention on them, and they just look
Mhm.
up at you. And like they just like make direct eye contact and smile and wave and beckon you over.
So there's an odd moment of like, there's a deja vu feeling, basically. Except, aside from these marks, I know I've never seen this person before, but like, what the fuck else? I don't know what the fuck else to do, so I come on over.
Hey all, sorry I'm not interacting with chat more. I just GMing is strange.
All
Also,
good.
thanks Arcrat. You're super
No
helpful.
worries. No worries.
All right. So yeah, if you move over to say them, they smile friendly. And they're just like, "Hello. You have a you look new.
I am new.
I can tell.
I
You have that look about you."
suppose it's that obvious under the circumstances.
Oh, everyone looks out of their depth when they come here. It's a strange place. I'm Havelock.
I am smoking sedgegrass of the Ninth Temple. Like, you can see there's this weird moment going on in Sedge's head where she's like doing something that's instinctual, but also knows that maybe it's not going to make any sense.
All right.
I'm of the Ninth Temple. I'm born for the Sootgulls and of the Inkstained. Are what is your relationship to this place?
Oh, quite a pedigree. I stumbled backwards into this place after discovering a very strange book.
Ah,
And they take out like this really nice looking cigarette case and open it up and pull one out. And yeah, they're wrapped in black paper. And they just light one up and then hold it out to you and smoke.
Possibly later. We on Tarask, we don't traditionally smoke under circumstances like this.
Tarask.
Yes, that's where I'm from.
Interesting. I think I've read about that in one of the books here somewhere.
I presume they would have them. I mean, this is the repository, or at least that's what we usually call it.
Repository? I like that word. That's a good word for this place. Right.
So,
Um,
Havelock, you said your name is?
yep. Havelock Chamberlain, at your service.
Wonderful. Are there any others like me here right now? I
Others?
should go and make their acquaintance.
Oh, from your... Well... I heard there was one... They were here before I came here, though, and they went missing. Time is strange here, but call it a decade or so.
Ah,
Yeah, one of our, precursors? Predecessors? Predecessors. We'll go with predecessors.
I see.
Hmm.
So, none of this makes any sense. Not that it's supposed to, but
You
none
get
of it
used to
does.
it.
So, what is the day-to-day? Where do I go?
You'll... this is going to sound even weirder, but, this place, the collection, it's... I hesitate to call it alive, but it seems
No,
to...
it's sentient. We all know it's sentient.
Oh, good. I love when people just get it. Yeah, this place, it it provides. You'll find your room when you need it. Food is there's a cafeteria. You'll be able to access it when you need it. Oh, right. While I'm still thinking about it, we have teammates. I've just been.
Teammates.
Oh, yes. I've just been moved to materials acquisition and disaster prevention. You're to be one of my colleagues in this little venture of ours.
What?
Right.
I have a luck. May I step in?
Oh yeah, of course. I was about to say. I will
Certainly.
send notice.
I did not mean to interrupt or steal a scene or anything like that. I just wanted to wait for an appropriate moment.
Oh no, not at all. I was literally about to be like, let's get everyone else in here. Let me send a message real quick, and we'll get everyone introduced. I should
I'm going to
introduce
sit
us
down.
all. I'd recommend it. Oh, would you perhaps care for a drink? Something a bit
Not
strong, maybe.
Not that. Where would I order? I don't know that you would even be able to get what I want.
Oh, that's true. I don't know what kind of local beverage your culture has. Sounds. Ooh, so many opportunities to learn new things. I'm excited. Anyway, let me put out that call real quick. I will be right back.
If
And-
you find kelp whiskey somewhere between point A and point B, bring the bottle.
Kelp whiskey. Fascinating. And they get up, and you see them walk over to one of the, on the wall, like, you're not sure it was there before, but it's there now. There's, like, an old school phone, like, rotary, you pick up the little thing for the earpiece and speak into the box itself.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And the funny thing is, Sedge has never seen such a thing in her whole life.
Yup.
Like, communicators from where she comes from are, they're earpieces.
Yeah.
If they're not already physically implanted into a person. So watching this is like, it's like some kind of strange witchcraft.
Yep. You see them, like, turning the dial to operate the thing and then, like, using it. And, then they come sit back down, and they rummage around under the table for a moment. And, like, from out of one of the drawers in the desk, they pull out a bottle of kelp whiskey that you asked for. And several drinking glasses.
And
This
Sedge is not... Sorry, go.
Oh no, this stuff looks like exactly as it would on your homeworld. Like, as far as you can tell, this bottle is just from home.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it's the same, like, kind of iridescent dark blue glass. It's the same, like, tumblers that it's traditionally served in. Like, it's the whole 9 fucking yards, and it all looks like, and it's the good stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Temple brand.
Yep.
And Sedge has been brought up better than this, but she's having a little bit of a moment, and she does definitely grab the bottle and pour herself a solid couple of fingers worth.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Havelock, seeing this, also helps themselves to a glass of this because they've never had it. Like,
they're gonna have an interesting time.
This kelp whiskey. That is I've never thought to ferment seaweed before. That's fascinating. And everyone else, you all get like a little... I think the funny thing is, like, whatever means of communication you would normally use, you all get notices on those.
Carrier pigeon. Perfect.
Yes! A carrier pigeon lands on your desk, Dr. Whackbat. And...
That is a particularly daring pigeon, I must say.
Yep.
Considering the contents of that desk. Well, very good. I will pat out the most recent fire and make my way out of the soundproof and blast-proof doors here.
Soundproof and blast-proof. Gotta cover all your bases.
And it's just
Absolutely.
a simple summons to the Athenaeum to meet your new teammate who has just arrived.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
I will stroll out from a door in the wall that was not previously there, and do my level best to put out the fire growing along my left sleeve there. I apologize for my tardiness, Havelock. It would seem that Terabithian thermite has some very curious effects when applied to Carthorian iron. I was just making note of my most recent discoveries here. And this lovely individual must be our new teammate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a pleasure to see you again. And how is the missus doing?
Oh, she is having a devil of a time down in the hazardous materials archive. There's this fascinating phenomenon. I believe they call it radioactivity. And
Sounds dangerous.
it does, and I believe it is. But Eudora is enjoying every second of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Professor Mulligan Wackbat, PhD, and I am a professor of impact mechanics or combinatorics. And you must be our new companion?
I am. And as you said, we are all going to be working together, yes? That is our
That is-
relationship, apparently.
Indeed, charmed. I will hold a hand out for a.
I kind of
Gentlemanly
look at the
handshake.
hand and then glance up at you and look at the hand and glance up at you. I have no idea what to do with it.
I'm sorry, there is some part of me still on fire. It's so hard to tell
No,
sometimes.
no, I am. So, Sedge stands up and she gives her pedigree again. Basically, I can walk you all through it. We can do this, but it's gonna turn into a little bit of a joke.
Certainly.
I love it.
Well, I will listen
Yeah.
with rapt attention and great politeness. That is indeed quite the pedigree. Ma'am, I do not wish to presume your identity there.
I am Tarascan. That's
Perfect. I am British.
Fuck!
a shirt that says
I'm sorry to curse me now. You may be from a world that does not have a land known as Britain. Well, in the late closing days of 1879, the King of Brepilundinium pushed through with his mechanized steam corps of the King's Foreign Legion and conquered greater continental Europa.
Okay, I need more whiskey.
Some considered it a bit of imperial action, but there is a peacekeeping element to it as well, as most of the European states were beginning to descend into civil war.
What? I love all of this. Yes.
That was, of course, outside of my expertise, as I was still a student, but there is a lot of applied uses for impact mechanics and combinatorics, which, as you might say in the common parlance, the art and science of hitting a thing with another thing. Because some things will simply crack or fracture or bend, but some things will even explode. And sometimes when they explode, untoward things may happen, things not yet understood by the king's science. One such experiment led my wife and myself to this wondrous archive. We have made it our home and left behind the war-torn lands of Upper Londinium.
So you hit things for science.
That may be a
I'm not tremendously
gross oversimplification, but I cannot deny the truth of the matter, and sometimes there is a great truth in simplicity.
I see. We back where I come from, some go off planet and study science, such. That wasn't my lot. So you'll forgive me if I'm a little outside of that jurisdiction.
Nonsense. I understand that there is some commonality. Hitting things with other things is a constant on all civilizations and cultures that I have studied. I can see that you carry one of the firearms of your people. May I examine it?
I would love to allow you to, but that would be a bad idea.
Very good, very good. I can assure you, however, I am far tougher than I appear, so you
I
need not fear for my safety, dear lady.
I'm not well. Well, okay. Go ahead. I pick. Sedge offers you the gun, like horizontally placed out to your
Mhm.
chest,
I can see you
and
have an understanding of trigger discipline. Excellent. Can't tell you how
and
many chaps on the front lines shot their own eye out trying to clear a jam from their firearms.
so here's the thing, Whackbat. When you touch this
Yes.
gun, and I'm sorry. This is sorry, Nick, if I'm taking over a little bit
You're
here
not.
as like the outside narrator.
This is good.
Whackbat, you pick up the gun out of Sedge's hands. The gun immediately, which this gun is like, it seems more or less like a normal gun, like
Mhm,
something you'd be familiar with. It's, solid wooden handle, long metal tubes, a little bit of funny business in the middle that doesn't look like your typical system of chambers and so
mhm,
forth.
mhm.
It's a little deeper and it's engraved very oddly with curves and whorls and things that don't
I'm
look
guessing it does not
familiar.
have a traditional like hammer and firing pin type setup.
No, it does not. There's nothing. There is a
Interesting.
sight up on the barrel, but there is nothing else. And there's the trigger beneath where you would expect it to be. And the instant your hands touch it, all that whirling, all that patterning, all down the barrel and everything light up electric purple, and the gun begins to scream. And not like a low grade scream either. This is a
Fascinating.
nails down a chalkboard noise.
Oh
Fascinating.
boy.
I haven't been able to hear high pitched sounds since a bundle of Terabithian thermite went off mere inches from my left ear.
Yeah.
I must say, I am fascinated by the action on this weapon. It does not contain the traditional firing pin and hammer setup, and as you understand, a combustion of a firearm is traditionally done through, as with many things in life, hitting a thing with another thing.
This does not hit anything with anything, at least nothing we can see.
Interesting. It is as if it is a single solid piece of material. Well, I will. It certainly seems upset at my antics here, so I will
Yes,
not
thank
keep it
you.
over long. Here you are.
Sedge takes the gun back. The purple dies down to a blue, and the gun makes a couple of sort of plaintive, "Why would you do that?" sounds before subsiding back into an inanimate object.
That is singular. Is that a unique construction, or is this the sort of thing our people are capable of mass production?
So, on my planet, we are still figuring out a good bit of our past. My people were not the original people of the planet, or at least we're only partially the original people. I am partially, I would guess what you are. They call them we were called Homo sapiens, at least according to the science books that we have to read, the limited ones, back when we're in just, young temple school. But there was when Homo sapiens came to the planet, there was another people beforehand, and um they are the other part of my ancestry. And long ago, when they were all over the planet, they made a variety of objects. And some of those objects are, well, sensitive, and we don't understand why. This was one that we dug out of a mountain, a buried mountain excavation many, many, many years ago, and I ended up handling it, and it took a liking to me, and so it's my gun now.
Fascinating. Object harmonics tuned to the unique vibrational qualities of an individual. I must inform Eudora of this. It's a fascinating field of study. And you said
It's
that there are also Homo sapiens on your world.
yes, they came from somewhere. We don't Humans have been so far all over the galaxy that we don't
Hmm.
even we don't even know. We're the odd ones to be
Well,
hybrids.
on
as
my
they are.
world, they say Homo sapiens are descended from the apes. Still somewhat of a controversial take, but I must say Mr. Darwin's experiments and theories do hold water thus far.
Well,
We
we
may
came out
yet
of the
share a
ocean.
common ancestor. Oh, truly, from the
Interstellar
ocean.
travel.
Yes.
Well,
Incredible.
perhaps some manner of mer-ape.
Well, the humans, I don't know where humans came from or what they claim to be, but our ancestors, the native Taraskans, were water going.
Some
That's
kind of
why.
mer-ape.
That's well. I don't know what an ape is, but we were, well, we were of the sea. That is why that's why I look the way that I do.
Intriguing.
And with that, she gesticulates at the bump on her forehead and her noticeably serrated teeth.
Indeed.
Also,
Ha-
her
have a look.
oddball pupils.
Yes.
Do you know if there are any volumes available on aquatic mer-apes? This is a topic I would very much like to brush up on.
You said you were Tarascan, yes?
Yes, that is my people.
I have a couple of texts that mention the planet and some of its indigenous populations. I'll send them to your lab.
Intriguing. This calls for more research.
Of course. And,
Does he say that a lot?
Yes,
I love this so fucking
research
much.
may or may not constitute hitting another thing with a thing.
Yes.
Does the research include hitting a human with a mer ape?
It
Possibly.
It doesn't not.
I plead the
include
fifth.
that.
Yeah. All right.
I may require your knees at a later time for testing.
Yes. All right. So, while all of this is happening, Magi, the doctor receives a message on, I'm gonna go ahead and assume some sort of integrated, like, interface thing they have.
Yes, they do in fact receive it directly to the brain through what
Perfect.
essentially looks like. Visually, it would appear at the corner of their eye.
Excellent. All right. So, I've got my rum. We've got some characters. All right, children. Let's make some Christmas.
Oh God.
All right.
Let's go.
Wait, where's Arkrat?
Standing
Arkrat.
behind you the entire time. You turn and you see sitting at a table with a hunting knife, carefully just cutting away at. You think it's a whittle, but it's got sort of circuitry in it. You're not entirely sure what it is, but it doesn't really matter because in a second it's disappeared. So you kind of watch them have this strange device and then it's kind of disappeared into, you guess, a back pocket, but at the same time you're not entirely sure. And they sort of just look up at you and give a welcoming smile. They are human in nature, at least they look human. They have a hat set next to them, a very nice like flat cap. They're wearing a waistcoat, pair of jeans. They stand up from the table and you notice they're wearing what at first you would presume to be, at least from the color and the texture, maybe a form of skinned boot, skinned make of boot, but the way it glistens suggests that there is something else to it. And they sort of address each and every one in the room and go, "Have luck."
Hello again, acquisitionist.
Very good. I believe today it is, well, I think they've given you the card, so you can tell me.
Right. Apparently your name today is... and yeah. Havelock just, like, shuffles around, like, checks, like, inner pockets on their sport coat, and then, like, looks around for a second, like, digs around in what is apparently their briefcase, and then pulls out this embossed business card and hands it to, the acquisitionist. And embossed on the card is the name, how about Jameson Spencer?
Jameson Spencer. Mr. Spencer, very nice to meet you today. A pleasure to see you again, Professor Wackbat. I trust that things are going well with all things chemical and augmentable.
I dare say they're going quite explosively.
Fantastic. Good to see you, dear friend. I have down redacted for just terminology. Is there any other name we should refer to you today?
As they,
As the good doctor arrives.
yeah, more or less slinking from the shadows.
Yes.
Just imagine you coming down like out of the ceiling.
I wasn't sure if that would be
Head
too over the
first.
top, but
No,
I like
it's
it, I
not.
like
It's
it.
perfect.
It's perfect.
Go
If-
full crone and
Scuttle
climb down
down
a
the
shelf.
Yes.
they. And if it's not too much for Nick, they do climb down from atop a shelf
Spectacular. A doc after my own heart.
as though they've taken a shortcut directly from their room to that shelf.
Yes.
Perhaps a
Perfect.
vent.
Perfect.
Um,
Yeah, so this is said like hello to them is basically you watch Jameson Spencer look up to the corner where they are, and there's just a moment like, what is he looking at before you turn and see Magi's character coming down from this area. So make of that what you will, basically. But then they
I
finally
fumble for the fucking bottle again. That's what I do.
you may if that is going to require you some alcohol, we may need to get you something a bit stronger today, Sedge. I
Oh.
trust you will be with us for some time.
This is a process. This is not what I was expecting when they told me that the museum had requested a tithe and my birth date
Yes.
worked.
That case, might I suggest if process is requiring of refreshment, might I suggest no less than triple distill? I believe we have something a lot stronger in. And he just picks up a random book which says the Isles of and some unpronounceable planet, and from it pulls out a rather large tankard and gives it to Sedge.
I love this so fucking much. All
You'll
right.
notice word of warning, you don't want to mix that tankard. You will enjoy it, but do not, under any circumstance, walk within 50 paces of Professor Wackbat's office with that thing, or it will set everything alight and birth a new star. That is not an over-exaggeration. You lost 3 wings from that one.
I still remember the last disaster. Oh.
Procedures for that, unfortunately.
Oh,
We
so
gotta
many
figure out
bodies.
A worthy
Yes.
sacrifice in the name of
Yes. I believe we got to literally call it pulling a mulligan at that point as well. It was a whole issue.
Oh.
I do not understand the nature of your memes, but I will take it as a marker of success.
Well.
It is most good to meet you all.
So, question: when I look at the doctor, what do I see?
Oh
Doctor?
boy.
when you look at the doctor, you see a roughly humanoid figure. Presently, they appear a little bit long in the torso and in the right arm, as though their spine has been stretched and their arm has been adapted to match. And their left arm is entirely replaced with, we'll call it a 3-ended tentacular
Appendage.
appendage extension. It appears to be shifting and adjusting its fleshy protrusions as you look at it. All 3 ends kind of twine together and come together into a little point, as if resting now that the doctor has no need to climb. And they are standing on, this is a little embarrassing because we're on stream, but who wants to tell me how to pronounce that weird sort of leg?
Oh,
Um,
it's like a backward bending leg.
Yeah.
One of those, I know the word for this shit.
It's like
Wanna type-
digitigrade, but like I don't know.
Tardigrade. Or, no, hang on. Tardigrade is a... No, I
You
think
wanna-
it's tardigrade.
Oh, Ali says digitigrade?
Digigrade.
Digigrade. Yeah, that.
Digigrade, yep.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, no, sorry,
Those
tardigrade,
motherfuckers.
I'm thinking of water bears.
Um,
Which, I mean, there
everywhere.
might be some of that in the Doctor. We don't know.
Mm.
you don't.
Have a good one, Allie.
Thank you, Allie.
Good a
I'm
reason as
furry,
any.
I know these things.
Perfect.
I'm a furry and I know things. These are the things.
And these legs come to a taloned point. They have 3 toes. One of them sort of sets off to the side like a thumb, and the other 2 are the front-facing toes. And they are wearing a hood, a mask, and a scarf roughly pulled up around their mouth. So their face is mostly obscured. Their skin is... What are words?
Pale, dark, olivine.
I'm...
Bear gone.
It's definitely there, fortunately. Their skin is mostly where it is not covered in colorful, like rainbow-esque, iridescent discoloration. It is a dark, rich brown.
Are you a robot unicorn?
You don't know. You can't
You don't
see
know, you'll
beneath the. You can't see beneath the hood. They might have a unicorn horn. You don't know.
Confirmed they're a robot unicorn, chat.
Havelock,
We don't
the
know they're
instant,
not.
the very instant they see the Doctor, Havelock just grins and is like, "Ah, Doctor, enchanting as ever, I see."
Morning, evening, afternoon, Havelock.
Or whenever. Care for a drink?
Certainly.
As they say in
Spencer, I
colonies,
believe
it's
is the
5
name.
o'clock somewhere.
Yes, today's name indeed, Spencer. It's interesting. I've not
Spencer?
had Spencer before.
Whackbat.
Good,
And-
we'll say afternoon.
Hmm. Our newest friend, Sedge.
Sedge, welcome.
Sedge is having a moment because it is impolite to say anything other than it is good to be here, but she's having a fucking second.
The Doctor adjusts their scarf briefly as they lift a filled tumbler. Oh yeah, I should describe this. They pour what are we drinking? What is the drink of the day?
Kelp whiskey.
Oh my! Thanks, Stress.
They're pouring the kelp whiskey into a tumbler with 2 of 3 ends of the tentacle, and then they shift the tumbler into the 3rd tentacle and raise it to their
Yes!
Mandibles.
Yes! Oh, this is majestic, and I love it.
Presently, you don't see any mandibles, although if you're looking closely enough, you will see some scarring around their jaw and mouth. That implies some modifications have been done.
Oh, Havelock is paying very close attention.
Oh, also, I don't think I've ever actually described what Sedge looks like.
Oh,
Which,
do
like,
that.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, no, so Sedge, obviously, right now she's sitting down and she's kind of gradually climbing into this bottle head first. But standing, she's probably like roughly on a height with at least some of the people here, possibly with the acquirer. Probably shorter than Mulligan. I'm going to take a stab at though. She's got long, dark hair that's like all pinned up on her head. It's clearly quite a bit of hair if it was to be taken out of all of the knots and plates and pins that hold it. And she's taken her pack off, and it's a very like industrious looking pack. Think like a military grade type setup with lots of like extra loops and places to put extra things. And there are some extra things which look very non-military tied onto it. As far as clothing, she's got like a long, you'd have to call it a robe, basically. It's an open-fronted sort of coat that's just got tons of pockets. Pockets on the arms, pockets on the inside, pockets on the outside. And underneath that, she's got a vest that has still more pockets. And beneath that, there's like a very practical shirt with a buttoned-up neck and pants that go down into into like knee-high boots that look very flexible, kind of more flexible than you would expect of that kind of footwear. All of these things are most of the underclothes are colored black. The vest and outer coat are done in the coat is like a terracotta reddish brown, and the vest is like a very dark reddish purple. Think like Tyrion purple for those playing the home game. And she's got plenty. There's a big looking hunting knife on her hip. In addition to and while it is impressive on the one hand, it's also clearly meant hunting. It's got skinning, gutting gear attached to it. And just to round out the look, she's wearing a good bit of jewelry. Earrings, two necklaces, couple of rings, couple of bracelets. And if you get right up close and personal to her face, you notice that there's some very weird shit going on here. Because, well, first of all, her pupils are bilobed. She's got, essentially, imagine if you have two black circles and you shoved them together and intersected them. So the pupil kind of has two parts to it. She's got those serrated teeth I mentioned before. Her skin is very pale on the front, but if you notice on the backs of her hands, there's a weird ink-stained modeling to her. Kind of like again, her skin is like fish belly, paper white almost, and this on the back looks like black watercolor that's been thinned out a fair bit. And finally, on top of all of this weirdness, there's a bump dead center on her forehead that seems darker than dark like the skin on her, on the backs of her hands, except more so, and on the back of her neck. And whatever this bump is, it seems to fluctuate. I think that's a pretty decent description of what y'all are looking at right now.
Fascinating. Are you cold-blooded?
No, not specifically. I believe Hey, anybody out there in the audience, there's a term, it's there's exothermic and endothermic, but there's another type of thermic that I think applies to some fish. It works a little differently. I'd have to look it up, but anyway, she probably has more, frankly, Sedge probably has more in common with a Greenland shark.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, also, if you're curious about Sedge's eyes in specific, I do encourage you all to look them up because they are lovely. Look up cuttlefish eyes.
Yes, look up cuttlefish eyeballs. That's
They're
the idea. They're also
beautiful.
Gray. They're gray, but they do pick up color around them. But yeah, no, she's basically got cuttlefish eyeballs.
Is so pretty. And that's my rum. Okay.
Yes, I've got cider.
Ooh. I'm gonna switch to cider now. I want something light. Don't want to be too out of it.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we need you mostly intact, Havelock.
Exactly. Mostly. All right. So.
By the way, sorry to interrupt. The doctor is going to take a seat next to Havelock while discussions finish up.
Excellent. Yep. All right. So. Yeah,
what are we doing here?
Yeah. Havelock, smiles apologetically, and, let's do sangria cider. Does smile to Sedge apologetically, and, just is I understand it can all be a bit overwhelming at first, so I thought maybe we could show you around, give you a lay of the land, as it were, before we think about taking our first job. Yeah.
Job?
What? Oh, right, I should explain. Yes. So recently we've all been transferred to acquisitions and disaster prevention. What that translates to is we find things the museum wants for its collections, and we prevent time from imploding in on itself.
Sometimes in
Okay,
that
fine.
order, but not always.
Not always in that
Finally.
order.
You finally said something that actually makes some fucking sense. Okay. Okay. I get it. Now I know why I'm here. Okay.
Yep.
So, and instead of saying this, she's not completely wasted, not by a long shot. It takes more than that, but she's clearly like having that like, I've had enough alcohol. Where it's like, you want to know what? You can tell me whatever because
Yep.
I'm kind of inured to the trauma right now. We'll deal with the trauma
Exactly.
later.
We're
Put it
all a few in
down.
our cups right now.
Yeah, we fucking are. All right. So, let's start with well, this is the library. And Havelock motions behind them. And there's like, you remember how I said the library gets increasingly like books are chained up? That just becomes more and more extreme as you go farther from the door. Havelock's like, there's what the curator calls restricted sections to the library. Ask me if you want things from there. That's kind of my specialty. Havelock just looks down at their hands, which are like glowing with these like strange runic tattoos. Like, I'm gonna go with insulated from the worst of their effects. Yes,
Weird.
exactly, Wasby.
I would recommend going through Havelock for any of your restricted book needs. In my first week here, I lost the tip of my left ring finger to a book that I did not realize had teeth that were more than ornamental.
Yeah.
And if you lose the appendages to the books entirely, I cannot reattach them.
Yeah.
So please make an attempt to keep your limbs to yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Or
Best
at least
case.
bring them back with you after
Yeah.
they've been removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best case, the books read you back. Worst case, you end up trapped in an endless hellscape as the book consumes you forever. And that would be not preferable.
You know, this is why books are dangerous. We all know it, but no.
They are also important fonts of knowledge.
I mean, they are, but at least back where I come from, we tend to be at least a little prudent about who has access to some of them.
All right. That's fair. Extremely fair, honestly. Right. I should describe that. You, me, and the rest here all have, pretty much no real restrictions on what materials and research materials. I'm bad at phrasing things. We have access to, given that our job is to prevent time from imploding. So, just, be aware of that, and take great caution. Just because we can access it doesn't mean we always should.
So you mentioned acquisitions, acquiring what? What are they looking for?
Pick a day? It depends on... It could be a bunch of specimens that we're supposed to put into stasis. Or it could be an artifact from some rare and far-flung land. Or the result of some dark ritual perpetuated in some other place. Or it could be a thing or person from your own home. It depends on what the museum wants. And it will make its desires known to us.
I see.
Yeah, it's a little strange. Also, you'll be getting... what did the curator call them? Oracles. Yes. Oracles. Shorthand for infuriatingly cryptic messages. With a destination and little else.
Well, at least some things remain the same, whether I'm on planet or off planet. Haru's spexes are completely unreliable and a pain in the ass.
Yeah, kinda.
Good to have something familiar.
Must say, I don't much care for the oracular treatises. I usually leave that sort of thing to Havelock. Don't
I'm
have the head for that sort of nonsense. I'm a British man. I demand you get to the point.
I'm something of a dabbed hand at translating nonsense if you give me enough time.
It's. We had oracular courses at the temple, but it's not exactly something I ever specialized in. They tracked me into the hunting classes pretty quickly.
Hmm.
Well, fortunately, the hunting classes will more than likely come in handy on our excursion.
Oh, most definitely.
I'm
Before
hoping that's what they asked for me for.
yes, before this I was in what's the term they used? Hazardous materials handling. That was my lot, as it were, given my immunity to the worst of the effects from a lot of the restricted section. Whatever sadistic monster put that filing cabinet in the back of that section. If I find them one day, we will have words. Oh, Havelock, can you interrupt your important research to go retrieve this commonplace file for me? Thanks. The last time I tried, the floor started speaking in backwards Sumerian again. The nerve of some people.
Is that how you got all of... Sedge makes a gesture, like, encompassing your tattoos.
Oh, these. Yes, I do apologize. They can be off-putting, and I must encourage you not to look at them. They contain secrets. Grave secrets, I'm told. Anyway. No, these are a result of my new friend, the book.
The book, you say?
Oh, yes.
And what is this book? I'm not going to beat around the bush here, even though it would be traditional to do so. I think I recognize some of these marks on you.
Havelock grins almost manically and is like, I'm so glad you asked. And just from like they stand up and you realize that chained at their hip, attached to their belt, bound in like the most elaborately crafted chains you've ever seen. Like these things are covered in like twisting skeins of runes and like wards and bonding rituals and all this other nonsense. And they just place this book on the table. This is the book. I discovered it in my researches into cultures and their dark rituals on my own home world. And it decided I was its new friend, whether I liked that or not. So, in exchange for knowledge, it offers me, and Havelock like gestures towards their tattoos, power of a sort. It made me much more proficient at magic, and Havelock like pulls back a side of their sport coat to show like this underarm holster rig they've got for a very elaborately crafted firearm. I also got this. And they just slide their jacket back into place and are like, yeah. So I am the book's warden, as it were. Protector and keeper until death do we part.
Well, that's something. Sedge
Yep.
is looking at all of this, and it is occurring to her in the back of her head that she really kind of wants to put her gun next to your gun and see what happens.
That
She
might be a
doesn't say
fun
this out loud
experiment.
because she's already noticed enough about Havelock to be like, this is not the time nor the place, nor possibly
Yep.
the person.
Yeah, perfectly charming. Like, Havelock is extremely friendly and just happy to be here. If you can get past the, like, marks that seem to lead you toward an unwholesome truth about the universe. Yeah.
This is gonna be a minute.
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be a minute.
All
Few
right.
of the especially revealing truths of the universe are truly wholesome.
It's true.
I'm familiar with that. Exceptionally. Or, well, I suppose you might find it unwholesome. You all.
But yeah,
Maybe
that's
not
how
you, points to the doctor.
that's how I came to be here, at least. I stumbled upon the book and literally fell backwards into a portal to this place, where I was promptly given a new job. Which is a shame, because I was about to finish my doctorate. I was going to be a professor of histories.
As
Well,
a former professor, I must say the room and board here is far superior than at the upper college, and the talking walls are much easier to negotiate with than the college review board.
Oh my god, that's so painfully true, it fucking hurts.
I know. Oh, groan. This is why I didn't go into actually being a museum curator. Fuck me.
Right. Alright, so,
bold of you to assume those marks are ever going to let you die, or the book.
oh, no, I don't imagine. I have taken what should be fatal wounds and been none the worse for wear, if I confess.
It's
No,
made
a
my
couple-
job as your resident surgeon much easier.
It has, I imagine. Also, I thank you for your services. Not being able to die from a cut to my throat does not make it any less painful.
They
imagine it
lift the
makes life
tumbler
rather
and
fluid.
salute.
Yes. Good. Oh, doctor, my doctor, where would I be without you?
Discombobulated.
Likely
Or
dead.
disarticulated.
That was actually the word I was looking for. I was like, not dismembered, but close.
Yup.
Disarticulated. Yeah, no, Sedge is like, yeah, no, that's, codexes will do that sometimes. It's not unheard of.
Oh, yes. Yes,
I've
they
never
will.
seen one in person, but I hear there is one in First Temple that does some of that.
They're overall pretty friendly,
That's a
provided
word
you give
for
it knowledge and or blood, failing that.
Certainly. I mean, obviously, in his case, he was part of the Abyssal sect, and their sanity is not their strong point. So it all worked out well for the adept over there.
That's fair.
Though
sanity.
I currently hear that he's been asking to die, and that's been a whole
Oh,
shenanigan. I'm
dear.
glad I don't live on that peninsula.
Oh dear. Well, that's no good.
A waste.
I know. Unable to die, perhaps, but I choose to look at it in a positive light.
There
Either
are
way.
certainly advantages.
There can be. Anyway, enough about me. I'm just one of many here. Perhaps we should start with... You must be famished from your journey here.
Yeah, I need to eat something, or else you're going to be.
It is
carrying
about time
the
for
rest of the
afternoon
way.
tea.
It is. Will the lovely missus be joining us? She makes the finest tea and scones.
Well, I think she is currently in decontamination at the moment. But
A
I'll
shame.
be sure to send her regards along.
Many thanks. It does mean the world to me, Dr. Whackbat.
Likewise.
All right. So, yeah, then Havelock just impromptu gets up, has been sipping on the kelp whiskey with no apparent distaste for it. Like, looks intrigued for a sec, takes out of their pocket a hip flask, downs what is apparently the last of the contents of it, and fills it with kelp whiskey before
Before moving on.
Yeah, before moving on. And then is like, this a ways. We shall head towards the cafeteria.
Sedge kind of gives you like a grudging nod of respect, just because at least where she comes from, humans drinking kelp whiskey, like getting humans to drink kelp whiskey, is like a local joke.
I love that.
It's the sort of thing you put on the intergalactic internet for the lulls.
Yup. It's like getting people to try moonshine with no idea of what
Yeah.
they're getting into. Hmm. All right. So. Yeah.
Tea
And
time.
Havelock?
Tea time.
Yes, it's tea time. Havelock leads you towards, or just out of the Athenaeum in general, the way you all came in, from the main door, except for perhaps the doctor. Who knows how the doctor got in?
The doctor is using their feet at the moment.
For now.
Oh, how kind of them. All
They
right.
understand that it's a little disconcerting when they just kind of grapple with their tentacles.
Ah, well, disconcerting for some, perhaps charming for others.
Perhaps.
All right. So,
Down the hall to the lunch.
yep, down the hall to the cafeteria. It says cafe, and it means it. Like,
Yeah,
upon the
I was
door
gonna say,
opening,
This has got to be a museum cafe.
oh, it is lovely. Like, I'm talking heavily padded leather armchairs, like beautifully crafted tables. Each one has a bit of a theme going. Like, some of them are from ancient myths and legends, though they all seem to be from different planes of existence or realms, so a lot of it is just incomprehensible nonsense to everyone. But they look lovely nonetheless. Havelock sits down at one that coincidentally seems to prominently feature a mosaic from Tirask.
Yes, and it's of like several large eldritch deities. Basically, it's the sort of thing that would be hard to parse if you weren't familiar with the iconography.
Hmm.
Lots of bits, lots of pieces. Some elements are highly geometric. Some elements are highly geometric in a way that makes your eyes and brain hurt.
Perfect.
Sedge kind of glances up at it and has this little moment of like, okay, that I know what that is. As she sits down and kind of gets comfy.
Excellent.
And again, she kind of keeps glancing at it, but she doesn't say anything about it.
Hmm.
It is rude to talk too much. And especially it's rude to tell people things that they haven't asked.
Oh dear. Oh, we'll break Sedge out of that habit very quickly.
Are you
It'll
sure
happen
she's not a
eventually.
little bit British?
Fuck.
No, she's a little bit of my anxiety disorder with a personality.
If I could, AK, I would be floating behind you right now.
I thought it was getting a little hard to breathe in here.
Finish force choking.
Fuck.
I think that's called eating scones. I'm not sure, though.
Oh. Oh, this is the best. I love this. I'm so excited that we're going to be doing this weekly.
Mhm.
Same.
For those, I thought we were going to say the joke, but obviously concentrate on a few things. Spencer hasn't followed you down the hallway. Instead, what you found was you sort of looked around ahead and realized they weren't there, and there was a tiny card, very similar to the one which had his name on it, on the table that just says, "See you there, kiss kiss."
Ah, well, I'm afraid
Mario.
Spencer sends his regards. His job as acquisitionist of the museum takes up a good deal of his time. So.
Sorry, I'll be right back. I just had to grab something.
Oh, no rush. Take your time. We're having fun.
So what is on the menu today? I
Bag.
think there's a very
That's-
solid rotation.
Oh, that's always the question, isn't it? There is a rotation to the menu. No one understands what it is yet. But yeah.
Oh, can I just double check because my sound's been a bit iffy?
Oh, go
Does
for it.
everybody in? I don't know if you'd said already. Does everybody who arrived with Stresshead's raid know what's happening and up to speed with who everyone is?
Oh shit! Right, I was supposed to introduce everyone again. I apologize, dear raiders. Right. This is the pilot episode of a little RP that me and my lovely companions here all threw together. I have with me Akantarian.
Hello, all. I'm Acantarian, and I'm playing Professor Mulligan Whackbat.
Hello, Pidge. It
Oh,
means
yeah,
a lot that
Pidge.
you're here. Hello.
Hello, Pidge.
I have with me the lovely Arkrat.
Hello. I am Arkrat, and I'm playing the acquirer who is today known as Jameson Spencer.
I'm so surprised I managed to pull that name out of my ass. Like, I'm terrible
I'm
with
so glad you
names.
did.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you did. Amazing.
All right. I myself am Nick, resident bisexual disaster and trash goblin extraordinaire.
Mama.
God damn it, man. All right. I also have with me Yeen.
Hi. Sorry, trying not to chew too much. Obviously, I am Buns Yeen. I am the Yeen of Cacklecraft. I am playing Sedge.
All right. And of
That's about
course, the lovely Magi Mercer.
Oh, hello, internet problems that are timed very poorly.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're coming in just
through loud
fine.
and clear.
Okay, cool, because everything went quiet real quick. I'm Magi Mercer. It's very lovely to meet you all.
Mm.
I am playing the Good Doctor. Their name is currently unknown.
Adds a certain air of mystique to the character.
Their name is
I
currently
think.
redacted.
That's what's on the
That's my
document.
information.
Which
But-
I love.
That's what's on the document.
It's true.
That's
No
on their
arg-
paperwork.
Yep.
Mhm.
No
Might
arguing
even
with
be on their
that.
birth certificate
Their
if you can
intake
find
forms.
Yes.
God, I must confess, the first thing I thought of when I saw that is I'm like, wow, another SCP thing. Great. Fucking redacted bullshit.
There's no escape.
Nope, there is not.
It's all there.
All right. But yeah, so, in answer to Dr. Whackbat or Professor Whackbat's question.
it. Both are appropriate.
God damn it, bitch. All right. Yes. In answer to Professor Whackbat's question, menus seem to apparate out of the... It's a little eerie to watch it happen. They seem to, like, almost grow out of the table, these menus. It's almost like watching a flower erupt from soil. Almost.
Or a mushroom.
Or a mushroom. Yeah, there's something organic about it. And they just erupt from the table before... just, you know, they're in front of everyone.
Sedge picks hers up, and I'm sure she finds, like, things that she's familiar with.
Mhm.
Weirdly familiar with. I'm not sure if everybody else is seeing exactly the same thing that she is, but if they were, there's a lot of oysters, there's a lot of raw fish,
Mm. Oh.
seaweed. There is some bread, but it's all, like, described in weird terminology that implies that it's probably made out of grain, whatever else it is.
All right. I like it. So, Havelock, as they're staring at the menu, is just like, bit of a seafood theme today. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but its name intrigues me. And as they poke a thing on the menu, it seems to like glow. Exactly, Pidge. Exactly. And they they place their menu back on the table. They highlight a couple other things from like the drink section, and then the menu just slowly sinks back into the table.
GM, does Wasby take psychic damage for that terrible pun in the chat?
I mean, I was going to bring this up, but like, for all we know,
Let's
the
see.
doctor could be the motherfucking pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Here
Pretty sure
to
Waz
tear
had
you
inspiration
a
for that.
asshole.
If you've
They
got
take
talent from
5 psychic damage for that terrible pun.
So what happens is immediately 5 psychics attack Wasby.
Oh
They're
my
very
god.
Oh, bless.
And they cast confusion by all reading tea leaves in a different way.
Then they eat their tarot cards.
Yeah.
Of
I
course.
don't know.
Well, they need that fiber.
I see the afternoon meal show was a little bit different than I was anticipating.
Yes.
Waz, is that because you're already confused? Are you like the Hulk, but with like confusion?
Traditionally, we have a little bit of live music, but I see the fairy folk are up to some unusual antics this afternoon.
Yeah, no, we're
Yeah.
just watching like
Aaron, you gotta get angry.
we're
That's my
doing
secret,
lunch.
Doc. I'm
We
always
have-
angry.
Gonna say anytime we're like having lunch, the entertainment is just we pick a couple of names out of chat to describe bad things happening to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's weird because lunch is actually served by a army of bumblebees. We're all wearing tiny little aprons, and each appear to have a little name tag as well. The head mate, it says on the menu, your maitre d' today is Busby.
You mean your maitre d'?
Perfect. All right. But yeah, so Havelock's menu sinks back into the table. I don't know if and how everyone else orders things.
Spencer is already sitting there eating a very nice looking sandwich.
God
Mm,
damn
this
it,
is-
man!
I know, right? The bread is so soft. Mm.
You have got to stop doing that.
I know I should order something different for lunch every day, but I swear these sandwiches are out of this world. Mm. All right, mini galaxy in the menu, of course. Mm.
Ah, yes.
Sedge ends up ordering a combination of like a couple of pieces of raw fish and a couple of pieces of incredibly odoriferous, like smoked fish, as well as
Oh,
something that appears to be some type of weird cheese.
Oh god, it's that fucking it's that fucking decayed shark bullshit, isn't it?
Oh, maybe that's what's inspiring me, but still, regardless, like. And this is all rounded out with like seaweed pickle to top.
Perfect.
And
I
she
will-
just like the thing is like all of like this stuff you can smell this coming a mile away.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like
I
and the
see
thing
you
is, though,
have-
that like to her this is all comfort food.
Yep.
Mm.
I'm
I
going
see.
to the following description from Final Fantasy XIV jumps to mind, and it is for Brayflox's cheese recipe. It smells as if a zombie's foot has stepped in in fresh dung.
Make it that, except make it an aquatic zombie.
Yeah, exactly, but more fishy.
Spencer turns to Sedge and says, I see you've ordered the Shark E and Gorge, Gutbuster of the Sea.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Oh, you've killed me.
You must check out the drinks menu, and from out of nowhere, and you realize that there are no other menus of this kind, provides you with a beautiful red, what might be leather, might be another material, drinks menu. for you to peruse.
Ah, the drinks menu. What a treat.
Sedge goes through it, and what? Out of curiosity, do we think that this menu has a set roster, or does it change when everybody looks at it the same as the menus do? I'm presuming.
I'm gonna go with it changes according to no particular metric that anyone has been able to understand.
Okay.
There are a few
So-
constants, though. I'd say one of them is just reads the fuck up.
I want the fuck up. I'm
Yeah,
ordering the fuck up.
And the fuck
Doctor
and the fuck
immediately
up
ordered the fuck up.
the fuck up has like underneath ideally prescribed to those who have failed on their missions, like underneath it.
All right. Do
Mhm.
people order fuck ups? Is this happening? Because I'm
Yeah, we all
very
order
excited
a
about
fuck
it.
up.
Excellent.
Gentleman
All
must
right.
keep his wits about him, so I will be ordering the llama and potato haggis, plain black tea, and a plate of mush.
Oh yeah, I'm also
Perfect.
ordering a nauseating amount of seafood.
And a
Excellent.
toast sandwich.
Spencer makes his way through the mocktails list.
Perfect.
I'm imagining that the Doctor and Sedge are like trading things off each other's plates.
Yeah, the doctor is like, this smells disgusting. I need to taste it right now.
It's
Yes.
like, of course, here, I want to try. I've never seen that fish. Like, yoinking back and forth with. I'm not sure what kind of utensils they use on Tarask. I'm not going to go with the obvious one and say chopsticks. Just because I have a sudden yen for sushi. But, like, I'm imagining, again, like, fork combo from Atlantis in Sedge's hand and one of the Doctor's tentacles just like very delicately yoinking up an individual piece of fish.
Yes.
You should try
Yes.
that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So no sooner have the drink orders been placed than these like in let's do very interesting looking pint glasses. Like the glass appears warped and strange and just plain bizarre.
Pint or tiki glasses? Like
Ooh.
warped demonic tiki glasses.
We're
Tiki glasses
going
is
We're going warped tiki glasses. I love that.
some Ogdru Jihad bullshit happening.
Yeah, perfect. This liquid is like pitch black. Picture like squid ink. And its smell is kind of like you just get like an ozone tang from it.
Smell of a lightning bolt hitting your local power plant smell.
Kinda, yeah. All right. So yeah. And if everyone drinks them, like have like immediately picks theirs up and is like lovely.
Same.
For their food, they've got like a bunch of the selections of like seafood and stuff. And then they also have like just what looks like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. Just also there.
What kind of egg?
Who knows, but the yolk is black.
Question. Actually, you want to know what?
Hmm?
What if you had an egg sandwich made with a century egg? Do you know what a century egg is?
I do not.
Thousand
Enlighten
year
me.
egg, yeah.
1,000-year egg, century egg. I've heard them
Yeah.
called both things.
Oh,
It's-
what?
It's a sort of basically you take eggs and you bury them in like it's wood ash and a couple things, basically like the prerequisites for lye. And you
Oh,
leave them.
God.
The end result is the white turns amber colored and the yolk turns like blackish greenish blue.
Perfect. It's
It
that.
raises the pH of the egg to around 912.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I've read
shit.
the
Does that make it
process, but
really
I-
acidic or really basic? I forget
I
which.
think it's really basic.
Yeah, that's basic.
I could be. Yeah, I could.
So
be
essentially,
wrong, but
essentially you've got a basic witch.
no, I'm a basic bitch.
Not you, the sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah, the pH of a century egg gets to somewhere between like 9, 12.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did it.
I'd try it. I'd absolutely
Same.
try it. That is extremely basic, though. Goddamn. All right. So yeah, century egg.
Century egg sandwich.
Yes,
Yeah.
a century egg sandwich.
And
I'm still gonna
the
try it
name-
anyway, Pidge. That does
Well,
not dissuade me.
Yeah, I mean,
Despite the
I'm the girl who
name-
wants to eat fermented shark.
Yeah.
eggs
Despite
and
the name,
sandwich.
you can like get this to happen in like several weeks to several months, depending on your process. So it's
Oh,
like
boy.
totally,
yeah, no, it's
totally
not
feasible.
super long. It's
Yeah.
not super. I like. It's really interesting, but we will get really sidetracked. Well, let's say
Thanks,
century
Pidge.
eggs for like one of my podcasts where we're or like something where we're talking about food more extensively because we will get there eventually on Cacklecraft. But moving on.
Yep.
For omelet.
I know. I love you too, Pidge. Anyway. All right. So yeah,
we
they
all
just
love
have.
Pidge, but
It's true. But. All right. So. Oh yeah, as food is happening and the drinks apparate, Havelock just immediately sips their drink and is like, ah, lovely.
Sedge sips the drink and says, "This is the taste I had in my mouth after almost getting eaten while being out deep sea fishing."
It tastes strange, but a good strange. It is a combination of like ozone is the best way to describe it, but like just sweet flavors, including but not limited to berries, there's hints of chocolate here and there, and just overall like a sort of almost candy-ishness. These
Combined
drinks
with the
taste
flavor
like
of being
candied
happy to be
ozone.
alive.
Yeah. These drinks are best described as very like candied ozone.
It's a very deceptive name for a drink that tastes like a little victory.
Yep. Also, I must confess that I have stolen Fuck Up's whole cloth from a different RP we play, and they are literally just speedball in a cup. Like, they are powerful stimulants and also alcohol.
Marvelous.
Yup.
So it's just a Four Loco. It's
Yep,
just another
It's
Four Loco.
it's just a Four Loco.
Christ.
Congrats.
One, I've just dated myself.
Yup.
I remember being in college when those were about to be banned.
Oh my god. Fuck. Oh no. Oh, as I sit here, an infant in this Discord.
Oh, that's
Fucking
right.
hell.
You're the babiest of us.
You are literally 1 day older than me. I am not gonna hear it from you, Magi. Literally 1 day.
As the oldest in this chat, don't make me turn this roleplay around.
I know you're the oldest Arcrat, but no, you aren't. Fight me.
Thank you, Pidge. Yes, I was.
Oh, Nick is really baby.
Yeah, I'm 24. I'll be 25 in August.
Same, a day before you.
Yup. What was the oh right, but yeah, Four Loco, while I'm thinking about that real quick, I still remember the someone being like, just dumping a shot of 5-hour energy into a Four Loco. Have you ever tried 9 Loco? The first comment under this picture, just do cocaine like a fucking adult. It's so good. It's so good.
One is younger than Arcrat, I do believe. Or they're about the same age.
Yeah, I think they're around the same age.
You know,
Yeah.
All right.
hard to say. Bun believes that he remains 25, and I do like to support that concept.
Yeah, that's
That's
valid.
fair.
From everything you've
case,
told me,
yeah, he's
Bun
definitely
just
younger than me.
refuses to age.
Do we see any timeless rabbits while we're having dinner, actually?
Mayhaps
see-
you do.
Fun fact, maybe we see the Senson Tototsin, the 1,000 rabbits of Aztec mythology, who are the gods of merrymaking and getting completely fucking wasted.
Perfect.
Oh, the second dinner entertainment. Perfect.
Excellent. The
Sure,
perfect
if you found your
accompaniment to
favorite, sure, that's not
speedballing.
dinner itself.
Maybe they come and do a song and dance for anybody who orders fuck ups.
Yes.
Are we completely sure that's not the hallucination of the fuck up itself?
I mean, hard to say.
Unsure, but if so, the hallucination is strangely shared.
Some philosophist at the next table has gone cross-eyed.
God, not while I have a mouthful of cider. Oh my god, I just drank an entire cider. Fuck.
Eyes her second can of cider.
Yeah. That's like a tall glass of whiskey. Fuck, rum. A tall glass of rum and also a cider. We're switching
Okay,
to
actually,
water
I'm
for
not
a
doing
bit.
That bad.
Yep.
So we
All right.
have our while we have our lunch and things. Does anybody approach the table, or do we notice anyone come into the cafeteria that we would know that would be important to sort of ask at this time?
Thank God for the acquirer for keeping us on task.
Exactly. All right. So, you do notice, interestingly enough, the curator themselves come into the cafeteria or cafe for some food.
So the Spencer goes, does anybody want the end of my sandwich? It's right there, and just point to the plate. And if you take a look at the plate, they are gone and are sitting with the what was the word you just said? What was the name of the title? I've literally just forgotten it.
Curator?
The curator. Thank you. So if you basically if you look away at any point from them, they are sat with the curator having this conversation. If you look at them, they are still sat at the table, and both of these happen at the same time.
So you're
you
Schrodinger's
can't-
Mandalorian.
Yeah, but you
Perfect.
can't see. You can't see. You can make out from the corner of the eye one or the other, but you can't see both in your vision at the same time.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. So while
I
you try
love
and work
this.
out how that's possible, I'm having a conversation with the curator.
I feel like
Perfect.
Havelock might be sort of able to see you simultaneously, but they're not sure why. And they're
Havelock-
totally sure that it's not the fuck up.
Havelock can. Havelock actually, yeah. Havelock, you Magi, does the doctor have anything that can see through temporal changes?
Sedge does.
Oh damn! You
Yeah.
know the doctor might not
Okay.
if they. Yeah, there's somewhat of a recent addition to the collection.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So no, you can't. Dr. Whackback, do you have anything that in your arsenal that would allow you to see through temporal changes?
I have not yet mastered the art of punching through time, so
Okay. So Sedge, you can
Yes.
and have so Havelock and Sedge can see it
Sweet.
simultaneously. It's only on the periphery, and
Yep.
if you move, you can start to see almost like it's almost like the image of Spencer, whichever one you start to look at less, unravels like thread. Almost like a ribbon,
Oh.
almost like a ribbon dance. So you can start to see it sort of unravel.
Yeah.
The ribbon is not fully solid. It's almost like a thread of sand, like something being woven together.
I
and if
fucking
you-
Sedge isn't
love
necessarily
this.
seeing this, she's sensing it through a couple different things
Oh,
going
okay.
on with her
The
alien
okay, so
physiology.
the sensation, funnily enough, as you're having a seafood dish, the sensation is almost as if you are sensing fine sand pack itself together. And as you move your vision from one side to the other, whichever is less in your vision, and it's always in your peripheral vision, but whichever is less in your peripheral vision starts to fade away. It's not annoying. You know it's happening, but it's not. It's whatever's happening is designed to just sit in the back of your mind. It doesn't annoy you. It doesn't take up much of your time or mental ability, but you know it's happening, and if you focus, you sense it strong.
Absolutely.
I
So,
love
question.
this.
Here's a question.
Hmm.
So, again, Sedge is kind of hammered right about now. Not again, not completely under the table, but again, she's kind of digesting and letting everything sit. And when she starts getting weird vibes around Spencer, she does something that a lot of those Tarascans with slightly stronger alien blood will do, which is she kind of low grade echolocates at you. She clicks at you. What kind of report is she gonna get? Are you non-solid?
So, click. Which So you send
That
it out
noise.
you send it out in all directions, don't you?
No, not quite. No, it's a pretty overt cone, like in front of the face.
Oh,
Thing.
okay. So you would need to turn to face,
Yeah.
because I'm sat roughly next to you. So, but then
Yeah.
again, you're sensing it from all around. Which do you turn to face, the one at the same table as you, or the one with the curator?
She to the one at the curator, I would guess. She's not big
So
on turning her head.
that's fair. So you turn to face the one of the curator, and almost immediately the sensation of the click hits you in the back of the head.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
Ah, it's good.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
And as long as you keep the click going, it feels like a touch
Yeah.
on the back.
Oh, that's damn it, Arcrat, that's real good. So yeah, that's Sedge doesn't explore further. She's just like, again, this is the she does again this kind of like clicking and so forth. This is the instinct of somebody just trying to figure out, like, have you ever been in a room where there's like an illusion or something, like you can't tell what's a wall and what's a piece of drapery?
Yeah.
Like, if the art style is called trumploid, literally eye trick. This is the Tarascan equivalent of putting your hand. You're trying to put your hand on the wall to figure out what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to get that kind of report, she's like, "The fuck is this?" But she's not gonna ask because that ain't the way.
I love this. I love this so much. All right.
So is the curator going to come over to us? Is that the goal, Spencer?
So I'm having this conversation with the curator. So, oh, you say this? Do you say this right to Like, do you actually say this, Spencer? Or are you asking me?
No, I'm sorry. I was asking, like, just to see what's happening.
Oh, okay. Spencer finishes having his sandwich and goes, maybe. And this is all happening at the same time. The speaking to the curator. So, over to the curator. They say, like, I'm being asked if you want to come to the table. Do you want to come over and sit with us, or do you want to go and dine separately and we'll have this conversation?
Oh, no need to trouble the new hires.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway. Give them time to get acclimated.
Of course. Shall we? And 30 seconds after they say that with the curator, at the same table as you all, goes, of course. Shall we?
Of course.
And while they're having the conversation with the curator, Spencer writes very quickly on a piece of paper and passes it to Sedge, saying, "We're going to sit at another table."
Hi, kitty.
Hey, kitty.
Sedge
All right.
picks it up and
Hello.
reads it and is just
Hello.
confused.
Mm-hmm.
And
She goes
what's
back
even
to
more
eating her
confusing?
stinking fish.
What's even more confusing for you, Sedge, is you get this conversation 4 times. you hear the conversation happen. So you ask the question. While the conversation happens, conversation reaches you. The echo of the conversation hits you in the back of the head. What Spencer then says about the being asked is heard and hits you in the back of the head. And then you hear the response and it hits you in the back of the head, which is then when you receive the thing. So you hear everything happening 30 seconds and then hear it 30 seconds later happen.
Oh my god.
So you have a mono headache, is what
So,
I.
so essentially, you get the impression that asking someone whatever Spencer is doing, it's a bad idea if you can sense it happening to ask them again, because it is the equivalent of listening to your own Twitch stream.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's just audio echo.
All
you
right.
all watch Sedge like squint, like the black dot on her forehead seems to retract into
Yeah.
into her skin.
Yeah.
Her like her pupils do a weird thing that's not right. All of her like
Yeah,
Again,
in
it's a
fact-
nailed down a chalkboard sensation.
In
She
fact, for
immediately starts
anyone
rummaging in her pockets.
for anyone who's listening, it's the equivalent of an onset migraine.
Ugh.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 And
It's
that's why
the
she
yeah.
I
goes
hate
digging
to-
in her pockets and hauls out a pipe.
Perfect.
Like a long, skinny, like think for those who are familiar with the Japanese style of pipes, a kiseru. That's basically what she pulls out, and she packs it real quick and lights up.
Can I leave you to
And-
interact with yourselves for a sec? I gotta take a quick bio break.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, so Havelock leaves the table briefly.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sedge
so-
is smoking hallucinogenic, well, not actually hallucinogenic, but like migraine-reducing kelp at the table.
So
Some of you may get a
Spencer-
contact high.
Nice. So you notice that like Spencer is occasionally going, yeah, okay, while they're having this thing, but they write down on pieces of paper and pass it to people as like, so how was your day? How's everything going? How are the results going? And leaves you with a pencil each that you can return them to. So you can interact with them. It's just they're having a conversation over, so it's only via pen and pencil and paper that they can really interact with this table without causing more of the fuckery that just happened.
The doctor who has turned off their hearing
Mm-hmm.
is going to make a quick note. Oh, I'm so sorry. My brain is not working with me right now. But
Oh,
they're-
yes,
they're
I
going
can, Pidge. I can hoard the imagination forever.
to-
Carry on, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
But they're going to make a quick note back to Spencer that they've been wasting time in their lab all day trying to work out solutions they don't have the proper formulas for.
The Spencer gives you reads over it and very sort of goes, and gives you a thumbs up. Havelock, while you just to bring you to speed of what happened,
Mhm.
Spencer's carrying the conversation on with the curator, but they've put
Lovely.
a piece of paper in front of you with a pencil, and the piece of paper basically says, "How are you? How are you doing? How are things in your lab?"
It's a questionnaire.
Lovely. Havelock,
You
grins and immediately starts writing about, like, their latest little experiment's the wrong word for it. Havelock's mostly a research scientist, if that makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, it says so. How is the line of research?
Oh, they've been inquiring into some, like, and they just list off, like, some nonsense word you've never heard before.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
as a culture, they're looking into the eldritch arts of.
Yeah. You notice your piece of paper can actually be folded out 3 times as long for additional space.
Perfect.
my
Havelock
God.
is wont to take up. Havelock is wont to wax philosophical about their
Yeah, for
research.
sure.
Mulligan uses a lot of awkward shorthand that looks somewhere between a mathematical equation and an IKEA diagram for how to build an explosion.
So you literally write the Julia Roberts calculating. Got you.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
But with
So-
two more pictograms.
Yes.
I'm willing to bet. Let's think. Yeah, Spencer realistically understands maybe about a quarter of it, and the rest is kind of put to one side so that they can work it out at another time.
Fortunately, Mulligan is an unsubtle gentleman, so he knows how to sort of summarize things
Aw.
more or less. He has a technical approach to things, but he's perfectly willing to boil things down to bottom line. Fireproof wood, not actually fireproof when exposed to the correct substance.
Yes.
You've got a good thesis statement there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Friends,
I
did
guess
you know
so
that
thanks.
metal is flammable if you expose it to enough heat?
I
Perfect.
heard heat was
Jet
expands.
fuel can in fact melt steel beams.
Uh,
I heard the other day that heat can make metal expand. I just thought they were talking mumbo jumbo.
Sage
All
is
right.
trying to figure out how to even answer any of these.
It can not only
Again, she is-
expand, it can learn imperialism.
Fuck.
I just went for a word alteration on a Simpsons punchline. I love what you did there.
God damn.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. Sedge is like having. Have you ever had one of those dreams where you're in school and you don't know the answer to anything on the test?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
She's experiencing that, except she's experiencing it through a haze of like kelp smoke and booze.
Yep.
So it's like, who are you? How are you doing? It's like, I have no idea where I am. This is not what anybody told me was going to happen. Help, I want to go home.
God, does she write that? Because that'd be amazing.
Yes, she writes exactly that. Oh, and then, well, I'm debating whether she draws her planet's equivalent of like a penis for the final question.
Yes.
Balls are not hairy on her planet, so it is a little different.
Lucky them.
So we call that the new moon.
Oh.
Fuck.
Maybe balls phosphorus on her planet. I should think about that.
God damn. These are the real questions, honestly.
Do they even have balls? I suppose they'd really be internal.
That does strike me as a rather obvious weak point.
Yeah, just fold it all up inside yourself. You'll be fine.
Perfect.
So they would have to be cooler blooded then.
Presumably, yeah. I
good.
mean, they definitely are at least partially. I just don't know that they're fully exothermic.
Does anybody approach the table that everyone is sat at?
Generally no. I'd say a lot of the denizens here tend to keep to themselves in their small groups. Like, a few offer, like, friendly waves to either former colleagues or, like, just people they've met and had conversations with, but...
I feel like a lot of people ask Mulligan whether he's on fire today.
Yeah, like, there's a
Sometimes he does it
general
on
sense
purpose.
of almost decorum about it.
Spencer takes the pieces of paper back and one by one responds to each of them. He then writes on a single piece of paper on all 4 sides and places it in the center. So based on how everyone's sitting around the table, they should be able to read it like the right way up in terms of how they digest information. And it says this conversation's running a bit long. Feel free to do what you need to do next. And kind of just continues to sit there, just going, while they're having their conversation with curators, seemingly.
Yep.
Question: does he seem genuinely engaged, or is this more a sort of polite trying to get through this conversation?
Yep.
They're definitely engaged. You know them less about. There are definitely there's small talk been happening, and you could hear the fascinating, and it's gradually shifted into a
Hmm.
conversation has shifted.
All right.
You also get the sense that they're not saying much because they're aware that their attention is split to a degree.
Ah.
So it's kind of they're not saying anything out loud that they don't want anyone to hear.
That makes sense.
Valid.
All
But
right.
you do like. Do you look in the direction? Does anyone look in the direction of where Spencer's having this conversation with the curator?
Sure. Yeah, Havelock does.
Okay. Yeah, without even looking, because you've seen this conversation happen before, Havelock. You can
Mhm.
see that they're having a conversation, and they're writing stuff down.
Okay. Yep, that seems typical.
All right.
Also, out of character. Hate to break the immersion here, but like, do you need rest? Get rest. It's late
I
for
can go
you.
I can go a tiny bit longer, but I like also set it up that if you want to, I can bow
Yeah.
out and like we can find out what Spencer's up to another time.
Yeah.
Spencer's a tricksy boy up to his own things.
Yeah. For now, I don't mind if you want to like bow out here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you here longer than you need to be. You need
That's-
sleep.
That's really valid. For anyone who doesn't know, I as of right now, it's 7 minutes past 11 at night in the UK, and I'm doing a stream at 9 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah, go the fuck
I'm
to
a-
sleep.
I'm
5 hour time.
about and get some sleep, but it's been
Yep.
absolutely.
Go
Thank
the
you so
fuck
much
to
for
sleep.
asking me. All right. I'm fucking head off. I'm just doing my nice like pleasantries and stuff, and you're like, yeah, we love you. Fuck off.
I mean, we do love
That's
you.
that
Also,
lovely
fuck off
yin
to sleep.
hospitality for you.
It's
Yeah.
been a genuine. It's been Katie's like bedtime beep by our cry. Oh, Wasby preempting.
Bedtime.
Yeah, cheers, Wasby. No, love you. Bye, Arkrat. Yeah, all right. Arkrat, go to bed. I'll be
Rest well,
streaming,
friend.
We
for
love
any-
you, Arkrat.
Love
Mhm.
you all. Do you mind if I just tell people what I'm streaming?
Oh, by all
Alright.
means, do.
You're allowed.
Oh, you're allowed. Thank you, Queen. For those who don't know,
Proceed.
I'm a voice actor and actor who's doing performative read-throughs, gameplay, and podcasts all around horror. The entire month of May is dedicated to my online horror festival, May I Scare You. Tomorrow is Myths, and I'll be starting it off by going through The Hex, Daniel Mullen's fantastic game, the second game that he made after Pony Island. That'll be on at 9 a.m. British Standard Time, which is something like 4 in the morning if you're in the States, but everything is on video and gets rebroadcast the next day. So have a good night, everybody.
Rest well,
Have
friend.
a good night, Arkrat.
Bye.
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 What a lovable friend. I'm so excited for him to be able to join us more properly after May is over, as much as I love his horror streams.
Indeed.
Yeah, go follow him. He has talent. Unlike me, I just kind of meander. All right. Let's, shall we continue?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm just trying not to chew into the microphone.
That's valid. I've been munching on popcorn and just sipping water. It's helping.
I have salt and vinegar potato chips. They are delicious. They are also
Mm.
incredibly noisy. I don't
That's
need to
valid.
give you the blow-by-blow.
All
Don't
right.
you mean a crunch by crunch?
Mm.
Oh, you want a crunchy crunch?
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna get like all ASMR up in her.
Oh, it happens now. Oh, yeah, give me that fucking crunch.
The kind of people that are fun. I love you all.
Yep.
Love you, Christine.
Fucking bitch. Oh. Perfect.
Thank you, Yi.
The ASMR is complete. All right.
Moving right along.
Yep. All right. So yeah, lunch goes along quite swimmingly. All right, and
The acquirer has floated off somewhere.
mm-hmm. As the acquirer has gone off to do acquirer
Presumably acquire
things. Yeah. They're off to go acquire some things.
Like sleep.
Like sleep. And mayhap acquire some new inspiration. Oh, ow. Alright, so, after a lovely meal, and everyone's got at least a nice buzz going, I imagine, at this point.
Yeah, so just experiencing what happens when you crossfade between her kelp and the alcohol of the museum.
Oh, yes. Alright.
So one of her pupils may be bigger than the other right about now.
Yep. Perfect.
Wonderful.
Gotta love that crossfade. It's quite a feeling. Alright, so. Yeah.
So,
Me too,
Sedge is-
Wasby. Me too.
So Sedge has a moment. She, like,
Mm-hmm.
the acquirer's gone. She kind of glances at all the faces around the table, and she's like, look.
Hmm?
I'm very, very something right now.
Boy, are ya.
Fuck you. And this is like... and it's
Only
this
if
is
you
a-
ask nicely, friend.
No. On multiple levels. What the fuck are we supposed to be doing right now?
Right now,
This
I'd say
is-
we should acquaint
Where the
ourselves.
fuck are the rest of my people? What the fuck is happening?
Your people, it's... As I said,
Send, once a generation, we send one of our own here.
once a
There
generation.
should be others.
It's,
A generation, I mean, it's not the way you think of a generation. It's not, we don't die that fast. Once
Time
a
isn't real.
spawning, maybe, is the better word.
okay. Either way,
Where are they?
as I said, the last I heard of
She's a little belligerent, let's not lie.
I noticed. The last I heard of one of your people coming here, they disappeared about a decade ago. I'm honestly unsure beyond that. We can check the records. We can check the records of different groups that have been sent out to do things, and mayhaps find their remains, if nothing else. But I don't know. The museum does what it wants with the people who work for it.
Sedge kind of breathes in and out. Again, she's like, obviously she's having a minute. It's like,
Yup.
I guess that's it then, isn't it?
I'm afraid it can't. I'm afraid it is.
Okay.
Gods.
Okay. So,
I'm famous already. I had my very first Twitch bot.
oh, you did. Wow. Hey,
Had to ban that immediately.
Eagle Stixel. We should save that name and use that later for a bad
It's a
guy.
good name. I
Is it
like
actually
it.
just Ghost Sticks? I prefer Google Stixel.
Oh, I like Eagle Stixel. Well, I've had many companions to bolster my popularity. I really doubt I'd have as many viewers as I do on my own page. I have Yeen here, who everyone already adores, and Arkrat.
Oh, come the fuck on.
Listen, I'm not gonna say I don't have a magnetic personality, but I'm really bad at advertising myself.
God, I feel that.
Yeah, I'm
do a
lovely to
better
talk
job of it
to,
than I
make
do.
no mistake. Alright, either way, Havelock, after finishing their century egg soup, soup. No, century egg sandwich.
I mean, you could have a soup and a sandwich. No one's stopping you.
No one is stopping me. It's true.
Also, Sedge is looking like she really wants somebody to kind of talk her off a cliff.
Oh yeah, no. Havelock stands up after concluding their food. They like slug the last of their drink. And they're just like, I have an idea that you may enjoy. Why don't we go examine the orrery?
All right, let's go. Sorry,
All
my
right.
mouth's full.
No, it's fine. That is perfect and in character for Sedge as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's about her.
Yep. All right.
She probably stole what's left of Spencer's sandwich, frankly.
Excellent.
She deserves it. She's
She
having
does.
a hard day.
Yeah, she's having an entire day. All right. So, Havelock leads you out of there and to a different area, and Havelock seems very confident in where they're going. Though
What's
every
that?
time they seem to, every now and then they pause at an intersection in hallways, and they like seem to like kind of wave their hand around a bit, and then like it sort of pulls in a specific direction, and they head that way. And it's almost like a dowsing rod, except only one.
Sedge is
and-
following along behind with like her gun balanced over her shoulders and the facial expression of somebody who's just like they're either gonna find answers or they're gonna shoot somebody.
Great.
Either way, it'll make the day a little more interesting.
Aw.
It is gonna get interesting.
Have a good day, Pidge. I hope your
We love you,
workday is
Pidge.
lovely.
Have a good one, Pidge.
Wasby understands. One rod is all you need.
I also say I love vinegar chips because they make your lips swell up.
Oh, salt and vinegar chips are so good.
Yeah. It's like pineapple, it eats you back.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect. The ideal food, honestly. It's why I like sharp cheeses. I bite into them, they bite into me. There's an equivalence to it.
That's like me with the really nasty cheeses. It's like, oh, I consume you, but you colonize me. Symbiosis.
Perfect. All right. So
we head
yeah,
down this hallway.
yeah, you're heading down the hallway. This place seems every now and then each hallway seems to have like a completely different architectural style. Like there's no rhyme or reason to any of it either. One time it's like ancient Sumerian, another time it's like let's go classical Roman. Let's go like high Roman. Like imperial era Rome. Another time it's like France
The
at
Hagia
the
Sophia, it's
Yup.
Versailles, it's
Yeah. Another hallway looks like it's taken straight out of the Palace of Versailles. Like
one seems to open into Issei Shrine, one seems to open into some planet that's not even remotely here and you don't want to stare at the geography too long.
nope.
One is just Relay and Cthulhu's like stumbling down the hallway looking for a midnight snack. in his
Exactly.
PJs,
Yup.
with a little mug of hot chocolate clutched in one mouth tentacle.
It's perfect. World's best tentacle, daddy.
I mean, no, that's Dagon.
That is Dagon, to be fair. All
And
right.
Mother Hydra's coming along behind him, going with like a world's best like fish mom.
Yes. All right. But yeah, like the architectural style, the time period, everything seems to be shifting every time you take a new hallway. And after a few hallways, that you arrive at a room simply labeled the observatory. And when you open it, it's kind of a pretty classical observatory. Like there's a giant telescope with like a nice, very comfy looking seat And around it are just a lot of like pools of liquid, but they're almost mirror-like. And there's just a lot of people standing at different ones here and there. And Havelock just confidently and calmly walks over to one and beckons everyone over.
Well, the doctor goes without hesitation.
Oh, of course.
Sedge is, of course, following because she wants some answers. God damn it! I
Mm.
want some answers. I can't remember what's
Yes.
the movie. I feel like there's a movie where that's a classic line, and I'm forgetting what it is.
I'm not sure
Couldn't
exactly.
tell ya.
There's something. It's like I want answers. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Continue. It's that voice.
All right. But yeah, so Havelock's like, these are divining pools of a sort. They're portals into other worlds. You can see the goings on in other places. There's not always a rhyme or reason, but they tend to show you what you want to see. And like, as you look into it, the first scene you see is this man in this like elaborate, very nice looking what the hell are they called? They're those types of lab coats where they like button up all the way up the side and shoulder.
Oh, like a medical gown almost.
Yeah,
They're
one of
old
those.
school medical gowns.
Yep, one of those old school ones. And like this man is he's like real tall, and there's something a little off about him, like his proportions are just ever so slightly a little strange.
Do
And
they remind me of the Doctor by any chance?
yes and no. Like, yes, in the there is a strangeness about them. No, in that, like, whatever is weird
There's
about
no
them is very...
overt relationship.
Yeah. There's just something... They're just unique, but they
Mhm.
clearly... And they're, like, standing next to someone nearly as tall as them. And it's just, like, a tall bunny girl who's, like, working over some diagrams. And, you see...
I'm just going to accept that you just said bunny girl.
Bunny
Please.
girl, yeah. Like, with rabbit
Okay.
ears instead of normal ears and everything.
Okay.
I'm
yep.
going to charitably
Vera.
assume like more like Vera. Okay.
Vera from FF14, yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Not like bunny girl bunny suit, no, like Vera from
It's
FF14,
hard
but like...
to escape that image.
It is hard to escape that image,
Unfortunately,
I
those terms are
apologize.
very-
Viera
very
was literally the first thing my brain jumped to.
It's
because
the
I'm-
same for me, yeah.
because
Literally, I
you're
pictured
pure.
Jessica Rabbit, so
Oh wait, the first thing
Perfect.
my brain jumped to after Bun.
Yeah.
that
Bun is the ultimate bunny girl.
I mean,
Perfect.
I plead the fifth.
All right. Oh,
So
thank you
maybe
for the
click this
host.
and send it to Bun.
Steak? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name.
Thank you for hosting us.
Yes, thank you for hosting
We
this
love you.
lovely misadventure. All right. But yeah, the one thing that is really unsettling about this man, you notice, is their eyes are just rolling around in their head, and not like in the not in the sense that like, oh, they're having some kind of attack. They just move in whatever direction, and on all sides of these eyes, you realize, are just different irises, and they're different colors. And they seem almost like
he's-
they're focal lenses, and they just are staring at a thing and constantly shifting their focuses.
So, like, what I'm picturing is whoever had one of those, like, I'm almost picturing a Magic 8 ball weighted with one of those. Did anyone ever have one of these balls? They were like, it was a ball within a hard acrylic case, and there was some kind of fluid between point A and point B. So, like,
Yes.
it would, like, roll
kinda.
around within, like, you could shake the hard acrylic bit, and the inside would roll all over the place. Sometimes it was weighted to always, like, come up in one direction.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, something like that. So, well, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, and their eyes are just like, and like...
Even by Sedge's perspective, that's not fucking right.
Oh yeah, no, it's a little unsettling to watch, but they're like smiling and laughing and just like having a time looking over this person's plans, and they like just... There's an almost paternal air about them. as they're like
Is the
talking to this
doctor
person.
Also able to see this.
The doctor is able to see this, yes. And
Incredible. That is a very efficient ocular setup.
yep, for an extra bit of fun, like suddenly they have this look of like, what the hell? And they like look directly back at everyone.
Oh fuck.
For like a brief instant, and they like tilt their heads strangely as if they're like noticing something, and then they like shake their head and just like return to their work.
Sedge
No.
feels seen and she doesn't like it.
Yep, one of their eyes turns to regard all of you, while the other one is still on their apprentice's work. And then like
Right.
just goes back to their work. Yep.
I see this viewpoint isn't entirely as one-sided as I once thought.
Yeah, like Havelock looks a little alarmed at seeing that. Oh, that's not normal.
Oh, that's not.
No,
Sedge
that-
backs
Well, if
up
you
a
don't
couple
think
of
it's
steps,
normal, that's
turns
certainly
around,
quite a barometer.
Yeah.
and throws up.
Oh, oh no, Sedge.
Like
Oh.
not she puts her hand up like a no, hang on, I'm fine. Pukes like twice more, straightens up, wipes her mouth, and then comes back. Just completely like nothing has happened.
Okay.
Was that the alcohol?
Is
Does lunch not agree with you then?
No, I
Or is it everything else?
whatever just looked at me, I don't like it.
Oh, I've seen them before. They seem pretty harmless, honestly. They're just when they aren't teaching them, they're and God. Yes, we're doing this. Yeah, no, and then you see the scene shift, and it's the same person. Like weird eyes, real lanky. You see them remove the coat, and underneath they're just wearing like a pair of very form-fitting, like tight pants and like tall boots and nothing else. And their body is just covered in like ports and plugs all down their spine, in parts of their neck. And they sit down in this chair, and this chair is surrounded by this veritable halo of just brains in jars. Just at least 24 of the fucking things, all suspended in some sort of solution. You're not sure what. And you see them, like, sit down in it, and these, like, metal tendril-looking things just snake out of the chair to interface with all the ports on them. And they just, like, shudder for a second, and then just, like, relax into the chair.
That's one way to expand one's mind.
Thank you. Yes. This is oh my god, this is an XP from another game I played. That is Dr. Carlisle Amarek, and he is an entire unit. I love him. And that is his thinking chair.
I love
Does he think in the chair, or does the chair think for him?
Both.
I see they're allowing me in the brain room once again.
I don't want
And-
to know what
I
got
had
you
a
kicked
brief
out of the
suspension there.
brain room, Mulligan.
And that is the last thing you see before
Yes.
the scenery suddenly shifts. And it's your homeworld, Sedge.
I have a minute. Sedge has a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Looking down, and it's my planet, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Seen from space, which is a rarity. She
Mm.
didn't get off world much, so seeing at a distance is kind of well, jokes aside, it's kind of alien.
Mm. And it slowly, more gently, zooms in. And you start seeing, like, people you know, your mentor, your family, people you know, people you care about, touchstones,
Yeah.
familiar sights.
Yeah, Sedge may she approaches again after unfortunate incident.
Yep.
Reapproaches and like grips the edge of the basin, whatever's holding this liquid. just very, very very intense about what she's looking at.
All right,
There's
and
real hunger in her right now to be back at what she's seeing.
and it's just scenery of people going about their lives, and whoever Sedge most wants to see seems to just kind of show up. Like an idle thought of like, oh, how's my sister doing? And suddenly she's there.
How's my uncle? Where's...
I'll very politely tap you on the shoulder. You have a lovely home.
Thank you.
Mm.
I haven't even been gone yet long enough to call it gone.
Damn it, was me.
And I miss it. God damn it, was. I also get a fucking fuck.
All right.
I'm also going to headcanon it that we turn around the puke has magically disappeared.
Oh yeah.
The
floor
janitors are
just
very
ate
good
it.
here.
Like a dog.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, so Sedge goes
Arcane
through seeing,
Roomba.
all the things that she misses, more or less. And what happens next, basically.
How is Sedge responding to all of this?
It's hard to say. She's torn violently between the fact that this is what she's here to do and this is what she signed up for, and the fact that all she wants to do is go home. And she's also... The additional point is that she's trying to figure out the thing that made her okay with this in the first place was trying to figure out if there were other Tarrascans, if there'd be people she'd be able to relate to here. And this is the narrator speaking. The fact is that there's probably going to be people she's going to relate to right around her, but she doesn't know that yet.
Yep.
In the meantime, before the found family tropes start to kick in.
Yep. All right.
She's her after seeing all that, her desires, if there anything, are turning towards trying to find her people in the actual museum.
All right.
Or something to that effect. I'm trying to figure out how to get us to wherever the plot's going. But
all
I'm
right.
not sure where that is, so we're just going with it.
All right. All right. So yeah, Havelock hesitantly, very gently, puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, you can always come here. They'll always be just a look away, really. I sometimes check in on my own family.
Sedge continues to stare, and she's thinking, she's weighing that, and she does appreciate it. Though she's not in a position where she's expressing all that much about it.
I figured.
I mean, it's not like she really knows any of our characters well
exactly.
enough to, be vulnerable, so
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Need to rush that sort of thing.
Havelock pulls their hand back after a moment and is just like, well, as interesting as this place is, I suppose we should... And then, everyone hears, this sort of pleasant chime sound. And to those who are familiar with the museum, it's a familiar sound.
Good familiar or bad familiar?
Sedge's head whips up either way. It's a new thing,
Yep.
and that gives her the spook.
Bit of a mixed bag, maybe? It is the sound of you receiving a new job. And, like, Havelock walks over to, like, this little... Like, you see, like, in case of emergency, open, or, like, break glass or something, it's like
Or
a
like
fire
a pneumatic
extinguisher.
tube.
Yeah, and, like,
Pneumatic tube in the wall.
inside there's a pneumatic tube, yes. And, Havelock, like, takes the thing out and, like, just, dumps out the contents into their hand, and it's like a rolled up piece of paper, and puts it back and closes it. And, unfurls the paper and is like, our first job has come in. How exciting.
What are we doing? What do they want?
We are to go and secure a, we are to go to, and it's just a series of elaborate poetic bullshit that makes no sense, and that I lack the creativity to come up with on the fly.
Fair and valid.
Yeah. But it's a lot of that. It's just absurd fucking nonsense. Like, we are to go whither the wild rose blooms, to pluck the child as the eagle with the, like, it's just complete nonsense. And the only thing it actually gives you that makes any sense is like a couple of key details about the thing you're looking for, which is that it's like some sort of crystal idol, and it tells you where you're meant to go.
Helpful as always, museum. Thank you.
But they do provide.
Crystal, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
If the museum wants it, you can't smash it.
I didn't say I would smash it. Your concern is understandable, but I can do more than smash things. Resonant frequencies do not usually smash things anyway.
It's true. They tend to disintegrate.
And disintegration is not smash.
Hmm?
Regardless, I may be able to assist in a more academic capacity.
Of course. You are a
You
learned
don't
scholar,
smash.
after all.
If we can identify any weaknesses of this idol, we may be able to develop a method of transportation that will keep it safe.
Concept. Hear me out. I come up with some bullshit oracle thing every week that we get as a message, and that's all we have to go on. This requires me to come up with bullshit oracle prophecies, but it might be fun.
Puzzles are entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Or riddles, rather.
I don't know that it'll actually be either, practically speaking. I may bury a useful detail or two in there somewhere. Maybe. Alright. This makes me have to do creative things, but it'll be a good exercise for me.
Leave it to your discretion.
Alright. So. It does tell you, how about... Orbital for short, indeed, Wasby. I need a good planet name, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. Fuck it. Albion.
Oh.
Oh god, no, not Namek. Fuck. Alright, yeah. Apparently we're heading for a world called Albion. This should be intriguing. So, as is often the first step in these endeavors, research would behoove us.
Wait a minute. Have I been muted this whole time?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Fuck!
think so.
Ah! No wonder. I was like, no one's responding to me. What the fuck's going
I'm
on?
sorry.
It's your headset's off, dipshit.
Oh no.
Oh!
No. So I wanted to ask. Then I was like, God Almighty. I was good. So one. Do I recognize this frickin' stone idol?
I
At all?
mean, I imagine there's been many references to crystal idols in your culture, but
Yes,
like,
there are. So
I don't know that any of them are from a place called Albion. Maybe.
yeah, none are tremendous. Okay, cool. That's one. Two.
Mm-hmm.
I have to take a bio break. I'll be right back.
Also same, actually, so this might be a good time if everyone needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand up, stretch your
Take
legs,
that.
get some water, get some booze, whatever makes you happy. We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, back. So, chat, anyone who's out there, how is everyone enjoying themselves so far? I must confess this has all been rather impromptu. Impromptu? Is that how it's said? I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm not particularly good at creating stories whole cloth. That's valid. Or Wasby, please, the anticipation is killing me. That is always a possibility, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just trying to, I don't know, like, my approach towards game design is very ad-libby, so I'm like, I'm basically just playing a long game of Mad Libs here. Oh, it's true. It's really true. Saint. Oh, how are people pronouncing your name before? Saint Forike. Perfect. Yes. It's true. Everyone here is cute. I was originally thinking of putting that as one of the chat rules, but I didn't want to rip off Bun completely whole cloth. And I felt Be Gay Do Crime just captured the mood of me as a person better. Yeah, I'm just very, I don't know. I tend to prefer improving stuff over having heavily planned things.
I'm back.
Welcome
Now I've
back.
got my fucking microphone on.
I've been waxing philosophical about my creative process while everyone's gone. Jake
here
works
for it.
fine.
I'm doing my best here. I hope that's enough.
Oh, you're doing
Like-
great. I wasn't expecting everyone to just step up and have ideas as much as they are, and I'm thriving on the fact that we are. Like,
Cool.
everyone just has ideas for what their characters do and how they. It's good. It's really, really good, and I love it.
I'm glad. There's that weird moment of me just talking about Sedge, and I'm like, oh god, I've created a self-insert character. Oh god, oh god.
Oh no, you're playing a role playing game with characters who have similar ideas about life as you. Unforgivable!
I'm not gonna lie. The part where Sedge is looking at her family, I may have teared up. I may have actually gotten worked up about it.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad.
That's how much I've person exchanged with this
Yup.
fucking creation inside my own head.
Yeah, no, that's valid. You think Havelock isn't a lot of pieces of me, you're not living in the real world.
It's one of those things where it's you figure, but simultaneously it's so frowned upon in general writing and creative spaces to put yourself obviously into a character.
And yet Dante's Inferno exists.
Yeah, I know. Greatest piece of literature and self-insert fan fiction to ever be created.
Exactly. So, writing critics can eat my entire ass and pay me for the privilege.
I know, right? I've been I work more and more on this book that I'm thinking of for Sedge, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really interesting.
I'm into it.
It's really, and I'm hopefully it goes somewhere. Also, sorry if you're hearing weird noises. I'm lighting incense right now.
Looking forward intensifies. But yeah, for me, I don't know. For me, when I make characters, I will take.
Seriously.
I'll examine myself for a moment, and I'll be like, what's a facet of my personality that I really want to focus on? When I made the character Zane, I was like, there's a part of me that really likes doing violence. Let's really look at that. Let's dissect that. And that was just the character. Carlisle is just this need to innovate, to create, to do things. Rain is just and that's just different characters. Havelock is more of a has seen some really dark shit, but remains optimistic in the face of it. I think if Havelock is anything boiled down to their barest part, Havelock is my optimism.
I get that. Yeah, no, it's obviously you guys haven't gotten to see any of my other role-playing characters, but just in the context of even the book that I'm writing,
Mhm.
or this book idea. I guess I can say it's a book I'm writing. I am writing it. It's
Oh,
just very
yeah.
weird to say that after such a long time.
Yup.
But there's at least two characters.
Welcome
and
back.
Hello.
Hey. But Sedge is very much
Mhm.
how I feel I am perceived, and her sort of the character she ends up working with, Markata, is how I perceive how I perceive others. It's sort of two perspectives interacting with each other. And it's interesting. It's also got stuff to do with me as the historian or the anthropologist versus me as the person participating in history. So
that must be such an interesting juxtaposition. We are living through a time where
we are.
this is gonna go down in history. This is happening
I've
right
talked
now.
about this even recently. About,
Yup.
As someone who has studied a lot of history, just watching it repeat itself.
Yep, it's a little creepy that it repeats itself exactly every 100 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of I wish Arcrat was here because he'd love to hear some of what I'm about to. It's one of the things he asked me on one of the jewelry podcasts, why do I love history? And one of the things is because, and I mean, this isn't necessarily a love, but it is a fact where it's you can see stuff repeat over and over and over again, and you can kind of predict where things are gonna go.
Yeah, you can.
Not verbatim. And
Of
certainly
course.
I didn't predict some of the shit that was going to happen. Murder Hornets were not on my docket.
I don't think Murder Hornets were on anyone's docket.
Yeah. But hang on, Fuckity fuck. Oh, never mind. Sorry, phone's being dumb.
Fair.
But like having that, like knowing what I know about history, knowing what I know about epidemics, knowing about like you can see where this stuff's coming from. You can see where it's gonna go. And or at least
Mm-hmm.
there's potential spots where it'll go. And we'll see what ends up happening because, there's a lot of different options. But there's only so many of them.
In the words of one of my favorite New Vegas characters, who are you who do not know your history?
If you don't know, like, well, that's the thing. If you don't, you really like. There's so many things, and like and it's kind of like in some ways one of the things I'm actually like I don't want to get like too like nitty gritty in the book element of it because I still want it to be like an enjoyable book and so forth. But like, there's also kind of a little bit of me critiquing like looking in on the from the outside, like making people into a study project rather than dealing with the actual people.
That's valid.
Like some of the like
Doctor has
ultimately
breached containment.
Welcome, everyone's back.
Awesome.
like ultimately talking as Sedge in character for this, I've dropped some of the stuff I'd intended for her just because it's way too fucking complicated to do on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the rest of it is like getting put into her as a character in the book, which makes it like make more sense. And you'll see. I need to write it. You guys have to like bully me into writing it. That's a goal, guys.
Yep. Also, quick thing, and this is unrelated to anything. Like, on the topic of writing, okay, it's somewhat related. I'm a big fan of text RP, like when we're not doing sessions. If people want to play out, like, character interactions, little vignettes, like, they don't have to be full-blown adventures, just, like, conversations or interactions between characters. Hit me up. The text RP right now just has the library. I have this thing where I'll name text RP channels after places, but, it could just be text RP, just running chats between different characters and stuff if we want.
Nice.
I'm down.
Mm-hmm. Or we can verge into the lewd if that's something people want to do. Alright. But yeah. So, as I shovel handfuls of popcorn into my gaping maw.
You're saying that while I continue to shovel vinegar chips into mine.
Mmm. Alright.
I've got a palette of scotch and goldfish in front of me, so I have no good.
You classy motherfucker. A person of taste and refinement, I say. Alright.
Goldfish are perfect for when you're not quite hungry, but you just have this primal need to shovel something into your mouth.
Yeah, they really are. Cheese
You
hits
wanna know
like the
what-
hard drugs, it's true.
It is. It lights up the literal part of your brain. And I know I've said that before, but it's one of my favorite facts. Also,
It's so good. Oh my god, I have
Goldfish
cheese
are
planks.
good,
Fuck yeah.
Cheez-Its are better.
Oh, Cheez-Its are the shit.
Cheez-Its are crack.
Okay,
I
but
remember-
you know what the real
remember
good
my
shit
first
is?
What?
Got some of them sharp cheddar cheese planks right here.
Oh. I have like cheddar cheese cubes in the fridge. Fuck.
Mmm.
Now, where were we?
Yeah, where were we? Alright.
We're We got a job. Find an idol.
Ah, yes, Crystal Idol.
Crystal Idol,
We ended
yes.
up contesting with Kate Blanchett and fucking Shia LaBeouf and ancient old
Oh no.
Harrison Ford. I will
Oh,
cry.
fuck.
I refuse.
You know, I wasn't thinking of
movie is
going in
so
that
bad.
direction, but now I'm considering it.
Don't you dare! No, Merc, don't encourage him.
You're the one that said you.
That is unsettling, Merc. How do you do that?
I'm fucking dying.
Like a little flute.
A talent in mimicry.
You are something of a genius at that. I must confess.
I imagine the doctor has like 3 different sets of vocal cords that they can just
One
switch between.
hopes.
I wonder if they and Sedge can echolocate with each other. That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hot. Anyway.
Put her
I'm a
vocal
horny
cords away.
bastard, and I'm not sorry. Anyway.
I've actually been debating whether or not Sedge has pharyngeal jaws.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The fun you can have with those.
Or the fun you can lose with them.
Oh, God. All right, then.
On that note.
On that note. So yeah, I would recommend research as our first recourse.
Absolutely. It never does to go in unprepared.
It's
And
true.
We are in a library. Also.
I guess we're going to go and read things now.
I'm trying to think of ways to make the research portion of this interesting. And not just a dry lore dump. About
Maybe
a world.
you could make us roll for like different sorts of lore dumps, like different levels of what we're able to glean collectively.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's the first session. I think we can be forgiven for a little.
Yeah,
something.
figuring this out.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright. Okay, good idea. Yeah. So let's go to the library. And, well, here is...
No, Oz, that is not the answer.
Yeah, no. That is never the answer. Fuck you very much.
Fuck
Also,
you,
most of these
fuck
books
you
don't set on fire very well. I've
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah, also, most of these books will set you on fire back.
I imagine
I'm rubber, you're
librarians
glue.
are very good at fireproofing and water.
Yup.
I would personally really enjoy the idea of a book that if you try to do something bad to it, it literally returns it while singing the I'm Rubber Glue song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so petty. I love it.
That is amazing.
I'm imagining it was like an arcane book basically made by like some evil child, like at a ridiculously young age. So it's like all these horrible, evil, like Eldritch Crayon drawings. But again, it still runs on a kid's like sense of justice and murder, which is fairly considerable given children.
Congratulations, Yin. You've just volunteered to, like, GM an entire session built around this concept.
Sure, I'll come up with
I
something.
love it.
Now the one thing though is I'm wondering is like, well, you want to know what? I'm gonna go do some research and see if we have like any like the equivalent of the I'm Rubber Your Glue rhyme from like back in the 1800s.
Fuck yeah.
Probably.
I'll do some research. I'll let you know what I dig up, and we'll go with that.
I love and believe in you.
You best. I found weirder shit. Straight up, I'm not even. Oh my god.
I know you're serious.
You know what? Afterwards, we should talk about. I have ideas, but not.
I'm down.
Now. Not now. Ideas.
Of
Shut
course,
up.
yes.
Shut up.
All right.
Like the stereotypical drawing of a tree, only it's Cthulhu. Yeah, kind of like that.
The Color
Kinda
Out
like
of
that.
Space was still my favorite Lovecraft story because the trees wobble.
I need to finish. I started the Color Out of Space movie, but I have not finished it.
I
think
need
part
to
of
watch
is-
it. I love reading the
good.
story. It's so good.
It's the movie thus far has been really good. I just Nick Cage is always an experience. To
Nicolas
put my
Cage
eyeballs
is
on.
literally always an experience. Doesn't he deliberately choose the best and worst movies to play in deliberately?
Basically, yeah. Also, honestly, like, are we sure he's not like from the same planet as Tommy Wiseau? They're like an adjacent, maybe the same solar
Fuck.
system.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Like, is there one solar system from whence we glean all of our extra weird actors, like Willem Dafoe comes from another planet in the same thing?
It's very possible.
Actually, I'm not entirely sure that Willem Dafoe isn't from Innsmouth, so
Oh.
anyway, I'm just derailing.
No, it's fine. This is a fine digression. All right. So, why doesn't
Yeah, do we want to roll some dice?
yeah,
And...
I could open your character sheets, but I'm a lazy fuck. Does anyone have anything that would help them at being researcher? I think the professor would.
I do have a weather eye.
It's true.
Hang on a minute,
We are
let me
concerned
check
with
my-
a crystal idol, I would like to look up anything I can on material harmonics.
All right. So you're going to pursue the material route. I like that.
All right. Let's see.
You see, it's a little known fact, but everything vibrates.
Oh,
Very
yeah, it
small
does.
frequency, like a bell. And theoretically, the vibration of different objects could tell us a thing or two about not only what they're made of, but even where they're from. And we can go
Ooh.
from there.
Now, that's an intriguing idea that I did not consider.
Well, I'm making you consider it.
Yes, you are.
All right. So Sedge, again, she's a hunter. She's an arcane hunter specifically. That's her gig. And part of this is like she can like that. Well, we'll save what that dot is exactly for later.
Mm-hmm.
It's a special tool that'll help us later. But suffice it to say that Miss Cuttlefish Eyes can see like infrared
Ooh.
and a couple of other like spectra that are not typically part of the human color schematic.
I know it's not as you described her, but like I cannot help but think of the Garleans from FF14 with their like very prominent third eye.
There may have been some influence there. Magi can confirm this, but I may want to throw a leg over Emmett Silk. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I love Nero. The boy may have some resting traitor face, but I love Nero anyway.
Yup, it's a big mood.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Emmett
Nero-
Hades.
Nero as a character is just the kind of person where you find him in your house when you know you locked the doors before you left, but all he's done is clean and set up tea for the two of you.
Oh my god. But yeah, so yeah, that may be an influence point. I've tried to like avoid it being too overt. Maybe I've failed.
It's just because I'm suddenly playing FF14 that all of this is jumping to mind for me.
But yeah, no. So Sedge can see in the in infra and ultra and intra and various other prefixes indicating. So she's just gonna wander around looking for books that pop out in that, and she
Ooh.
can switch between. She can like, again, that the advantage of that third eye is that she can dial things up and dial things down, so she can kind of go between them. And let's just see what she finds. Maybe she finds something good. Maybe she finds a book that tries to eat her. We're gonna have a time.
Let's find out. Throw 2d6 and take the best.
Here, hang on 1 second.
That'll make more sense in a second.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm in dice rolls. How do I do this again? What's the
/R, for you it would be /R space 2d6. 2d6. I'm sorry if my words are weird.
No, it's okay. I got it. /R, then a space, then 2d6. Yes?
Yep.
Let's see what happens. Okay.
Okay, so the best you got was a no but. So,
A no but. Okay.
you failed to find any particularly relevant text, but
Maybe I'm flailing around on the ground while something tries to eat me.
no plot hooks. You do find you do find a journal that seems to have belonged to one of your predecessors.
Oh, I found their codex.
It's
This is-
possible.
So, in Tarascan culture, every child at birth is given a kind of a notebook.
Ooh.
It contains all of their birth data because in Tarascan culture they have a very calendar-oriented culture. There are no less than at least 5 interlocking calendars.
Holy shit.
And having all the data about when exactly you were born will dictate other facets of your life.
Oh.
So having this information, like having one of these books, this book is given to the mother at birth by the midwife, filled out by her. And as such, midwives are all like calendrical experts, which is a tough field, by the by.
Mm-hmm.
So over time, typically after that first page, like some people fill out their codexes, and there's are fairly thick books, and some people do end up using more than one of them. but some people use them like just to like, oh hey, it's my baby scrapbook. Here's this. Here's when I got married. Here's my kid. You get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, especially those who are who are basically who get their higher education through the temple system,
Mm-hmm.
do more like elaborate and complicated writing in their codexes to indicate things that they've discovered, stuff they've experienced. Again, by virtue that so much of what Sedge does as a hunter is finding all these artifacts and then collating what they know about these artifacts into stuff. So that's eventually for most temple hunters and various other temple employees, their codexes get filed into the libraries of those temples after their death. Sedge has her own codex. It's stuck probably either in one of the big pockets in her temple robe or in her gigantic fuck-off backpack.
Nice.
So I'm guessing that's what she's found.
Yeah. Actually,
What
if
say the
codexes
DM,
are a
GM,
cultural thing,
whatever.
then absolutely. I like that. That is what she found. Keyboard, no.
Keyboard is like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, keyboard's fucking little magnetized armrest thing is like, what if I were suddenly everywhere but the keyboard? What if?
What if I gained sentience and decided, fuck you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, is this what I do? I take care of you and you betray me like this? I understand,
I say.
keyboard.
That's what I say every time my purse slips off my shoulder in an opportune moment.
Yup.
Except it's worse because I made said purse, so it's like treachery by my own children.
Perfect.
But anyway, so codex. How do we feel about codexes?
I like it, conceptually. I low-key want to have it coded in some strange way that you have to decipher. Might be
it
fun.
Could be. Yeah. Like, one of the things that, depending on how long ago this has been, what if it's in, like, here's an idea, like upper temple script.
Ooh.
Like-
High Gothic, you say?
Like that, except worse. Basically,
Oh,
like,
boy.
Sedge pops it open and goes, oh, son of a bitch.
Perfect.
Because the whole thing is, so for anybody who hasn't picked up on this already, there may be more than a little bit of my obsession with the Mayans and the Aztecs floating around in the Tarascan culture.
Little bit.
And in the Mayan language, there's like a couple different ways you can spell anything. And like there's the logographic version, which is like syllables the way we have letters. You just pile them together in funny ways, but you can still basically read it.
Mhm.
There's also like the pictographic way, which again, it's you just have an image of whatever you're talking about. So like, for a jaguar, you have a jaguar head. However, there's also more weird and complicated variants.
Oh boy.
And some where it's all of the above. So like, let's just say, and I'm not going to get too deeply into it, but basically you also see this also in Arabic, where there's like formal Arabic, which is a huge pain in the ass in contrast to just the regular everyday spoken Arabic. So basically what she's looking at is lots of logographics, but almost no like vowel sounds. Nothing like.
Oh no.
She's looking at a word and it's like, maybe this is this word, but it could be this one too, and I won't know until I'm like halfway into the sentence.
Oh fuck.
So like,
Oh man.
it's readable, but it's going to take a long time.
It's gonna make you work for it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is. And there's also like the fact that, depending on how you write some of this stuff, like everybody develops their like this is true of anyone who's ever written anything ever. People develop their own writing quirks.
Yup.
And it seems this guy was fond of them.
Yes.
So it's like it's translating Upper Mayan shorthand, basically.
Oh, that hurts to hear.
Sedge
Fuck.
hurts right now.
All right.
So yeah, so Sedge takes her book and is like working away. She steals like paper from somewhere so she can start like putting together. I can't remember what the word is for like
A lexicon,
hang on.
maybe?
Yeah,
Archiving?
lexicon. Yeah, that would work pretty well. Hang on, I think the word is lexicon. I'm just gonna grab one of my favorite books real fast. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, take your time. I've got all night.
Let's see.
Oh, speaking of,
Mm-hmm.
does everyone want to cut off at a specific time, or
Well, let me see. What time is it? On
it
my
is
end
about
of things,
7? For
I'd say I can't go a whole lot longer. All I've had is potato chips and beer, cider. So
yeah,
I'm gonna need to eat something eventually that
Yeah.
requires a little more prep time. So maybe do we want to go like half an hour longer? Would that
yeah,
work for everybody?
if we go towards closer to 8,
yeah, we can go
sort of see how
towards.
we're feeling.
We can cut it off at like 8ish if you want.
Sure, that would work.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I too have.
And that'll be a 4-hour runtime, I think, or 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah, it'll be
runtime.
4
4
hours.
hours.
Substantial for a
It's
first introductory
unbelievable that it's
episode.
been 4 hours.
Yeah, I haven't noticed time passing by at all.
No worries.
I've had a great time, at least.
Absolutely, me
same.
too.
Big same.
I'm looking forward to doing this weekly. I'm really excited about it, honestly.
Like, I've been pretty quiet because my character is fairly quiet, but like I am enjoying this a lot.
Awesome. I'm so
Good.
I'm
glad
going
we're-
to excuse my quietude as Havelock being extremely polite. And he's got that British, like, I won't speak over anyone. I'm a
Who
gentleman."
now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mulligan.
Did
Names are
Mulligan just
running together.
in Havelock?
Oh god.
No, this whiskey just kinned me.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I can
finally
tell you
coming
what
down
you're
from the worst of my buzz. Alright.
lexicon is just gonna have to do it.
I'm sorry, it's not the specific word you're looking
I
for.
know, it's one of those. I'm gonna wake up in the
Yep.
middle of tonight and scream it at the ceiling, and Bud's gonna be like,
Message me the word when you wake up
I
screaming
will.
it at the ceiling. Thanks.
But
So
yeah,
I too can
so
scream it
Sedge
at the void.
Sedge is busy at a table doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Havelock, how are you doing?
Let's
And
find out together.
And the doctor.
Alright. Let's see. Havelock is... I'm trying to think if Havelock has any particularly applicable talents. Occultist, scholar. They got a couple, actually. This is kind of their shtick.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm
Just
just...
good at searching things.
I'm just gonna throw 3d6 and take the best, and the best is a yes, but. Okay, so Havelock does find a book about Albion specifically, and it's like, it's kind of a general encyclopedia, like a traveler's guide to Albion.
The Zagat's Guide to Albion.
Unfortunately, it seems to be missing a few pages. Like, it seems to have gotten some wear and tear somewhere along the lines, and it's a little incomprehensible. Like, it's just written not in a hard to understand way, but in a particularly dry way. Like, it's like reading the campaign journals of like our good pal Julius Caesar, or
No. Oh no.
It's just, you fall asleep between sentences. It's bad.
It's the Gaulish invasion, except it's brought to you by Bordomaros.
Yup.
I hate it.
Let me tell you, as somebody who's had to translate chunks of fucking Gallic wars, you will. You will. You will pray to whatever creator you believe in, or the lack thereof, to remove you from this.
Yep.
It's that bad. You will pray to the void.
All right. 'Cause that's what Havelock's got. And they just, like, They sit down at a nearby table with like a heavy sigh, and they're like, I see. Another one of these. All right then. And they take out this little box. And they just fish around in their pockets for a sec and take out like a bump spoon and just take a nice big pile of this little powder out of whatever's in the box and just snort it and then begin their work. Spoilers, the box is definitely not full of cocaine.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely not cocaine. Havelock's got a lot of ghosts in their blood, okay?
Do cocaine about it.
Exactly.
And do some laudanum afterwards. Set you up, knock you down.
Exactly. All right. So that's Sedge and Havelock. What does the good Dr. Whackbat find?
I don't know that I have any.
Technically, we've got 2 doctors, don't
Yeah, we do have 2 doctors.
Yep.
I just
Havelock's
realized that.
almost a doctor.
Let's see.
They've got their dissertational thesis and everything.
What do I look for in their character sheet for like?
do you have anything that's good for finding?
Yeah, under traits, do you have anything that's good for like scholar? Oh, right.
Dedicated.
This is why I recommended you fill out the traits bit. Okay, so for your character, yeah, if you're like particularly dedicated to doing things, then like, you know, you've got this doggedness about it. Like,
I'm imagining 3 books opened, 1 in each tentacle.
exactly. Like you're probably just skimming a lot of things very quickly. Maybe. I don't know how the doctor approaches / thinks about knowledge.
They can read very, very quickly.
I imagined, but didn't want to assume. Alright, so let's throw 2d6 take the best.
Cool.
Yes! Just a flat yes. Okay, you find
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like the second best possible result in the whole game, honestly. You find I'm gonna go with you find a treatise on... Is it treatise? Is that how it's said?
Yeah,
All
you
of
read
the...
I've also heard treatise, but
Treatise. Okay. Either way. You find whatever the fuck it's
you could also
called.
say they just found treats.
Oh boy, did they. Boy, did they.
Information.
You found yeah, exactly. You found
I'd like to know what the doctor would consider a treat, snack-wise.
Have you looked at their page?
I am low-key hoping it's have anyway.
Hey.
Um,
Here, I'm going to put some fun little trivia from their page in the characters thing in the.
oh, do it up.
I
It's
know I read
it's great.
everyone's, but like,
I loved the bag of dubious candy.
oh, I forgot the bag of dubious candy.
It's so good.
Get the bag of dubious candy. Okay.
What a great detail about their character.
Thank you.
Love that.
It's so good. It says so much about them as a person.
Okay.
Plus,
It's elegant. All right.
Now that I've managed to forget things.
All right. So let's see. Where the hell was I? Right.
Best.
Right. All right. So this is all right. So you just got flat yes. What that entails is you found a treatise on essentially just like, it looks like this is a report collated by someone who worked at the Nebulous collection, or perhaps still does, who knows. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, and all that. But yeah, like, it's just a collation of everyone's understandings of, like, idols and crystal things from other cultures, and it gives, like, little context things about each one. Like, there's a couple of pages dedicated to each, and it's a pretty beefy tome. It's damn near grimoire territory.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to carry this over after, like, gleaning that this is exactly what we are looking for. And inelegantly slap it down in front of Havelock.
Havelock, coked up and focused on something else, damn near jumps a foot in the air upon that thing hitting the table. Like, ah! Oh, what's that?
I believe this has the information we are looking for.
Oh, how lovely.
And then some. A lot some.
Right. But let us not forget our good friend Professor Whackbat. Gentleman
We're not
scientist.
giggle about that.
I love it so fucking much. AK, you are a genius, and I love you.
Now, I'm taking a somewhat analytical approach, and I'm less immediately interested.
Are you hitting
in
the books?
Oh, I am definitely hitting the books with my eyes.
Oh. I walked into that one.
Yep.
Like a rake in a lawn.
Mhm. Now I'm less interested in determining things about like the location or history of this idol than determining what I can about what it could feasibly be made of and what we may be looking at in terms of its weaknesses, its composition, its capabilities, if it happens to be magical or something of that nature. Taking
Right.
something of an analytical approach.
You're looking more into the composition of the object itself.
Yes.
So,
No, I do not
is...
intend to hit it.
Yep.
If I
But
don't
no,
have
that is entirely in your wheelhouse. Roll 2d6 and take the best.
Very good. That's a 6.
Oh, shit. That is a yes and the best possible outcome. All right. So, you find...
Gradually sliding upward scale here.
I know, right? All right. So, what you find is like, let's go with... You find a couple of texts that you have to cross-reference between. But
Okay.
you find a report on the material. You find, like, a thing talking about, like, some of the idols from this Albion place and how, like, several of the... It's a retrieval report from, like, a previous expedition that went to go get something similar.
Okay.
And you also find reports, just a collation of, like, data on different crystalline materials and their properties.
Mm-hmm.
So you find what you're looking for, but from a couple of different sources.
Interesting. Well, now something that's interesting here is that
If only Wasdby.
crystal is a surprisingly hard type of material to work with in any detail. And if you're going to be creating an idol, something that is ideally going to be venerated, worshipped, kept safe for any period of time, if you're going to be creating something like that with a great deal of detail, you have to select the type of crystal you'll be using very carefully because crystal, unlike many other types of stone, is not going to shape very easily. Crystal likes to have its flat planes and its sharp angles.
Boy,
Do
does
anything
it.
with a great deal of detail or especially curvature is going to be very challenging unless you have access to a much more sophisticated technology. Now, I'm not familiar with what sort of technology this Albion would have access to. I'm not sure how sophisticated this world or culture is. But
Ooh, for some context.
sure.
Yeah, that's the and. Your thing includes pictures.
Ooh.
There are pictures of previous idols taken from Albion and things of a similar nature, and the best you can think of is that this should be fucking impossible. Like,
Oh.
In terms
This
of
is-
detail?
in terms of both detail and structural shape, like, the way this thing is formed, it looks like it's just spider webs of, like, glass and crystal layered over each other again and again.
Like glass blowing techniques applied to a crystalline structure.
Ooh.
That is
Pretty much.
remarkably unusual.
Yeah. It
And that may be
kind
redundant,
of...
but that's how weird it is.
Yeah, you have a knack for finding structural weaknesses in things when you look at a glance, and this just hurts. This is all structural weakness. This shouldn't exist, but the report you're reading says it withstands ridiculous amounts of force and impact. Like, absurd density and just ridiculous durability.
What if they've hauled one of these things off, like, the bottom of the seafloor on this planet? Like, someplace where this would have shattered under pressure.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes, they did. Good idea.
Are
Oh,
they
yeah.
commonly found at that pressure?
Not all of them, but some of them,
Okay.
certainly.
I was gonna say it would be
Oh,
interesting, like,
um,
with the heat of the sea vents down there.
Right.
What you can do.
I want to say, and with the doctor also, their report reads about how often they are found in the Dream Titans.
Hooba Juba, what?
Run that
Sorry,
by
that
me
was
again,
not in
Chief.
character.
No, that is in character. I refuse to believe otherwise.
The Dream Titans.
Mulligan
Giant.
Whack that is so unsettled that he briefly shifts into 1980s New York.
I mean, he's been exposed to some shit. It could happen.
It could.
That's true. It's true. Weirder things have happened. Continue.
All right, yes. The Dream Titans. Strange creatures that are essentially living mountains. That slowly traverse across this planet. And many of the cities on Albion, from Havelock's report on the place, that he's been able to parse so far, bless the poor thing's soul, are that, like, the communities there tend to build settlements temporarily and then tear them down to follow the Dream Titans.
Or to get out of their way, I imagine.
Or to get out of their way, yeah. Well,
Okay, no los dos.
they're smart enough to not stay in the Dream Titans' path. They specifically follow in their wake because Dream Titans create, extrude, excrete this strange liquid that's it runs almost river-like through communities, and it's called raw ether. And it can be distilled into
Literal holy shit.
Yeah, it can be distilled into any number of extremely useful and potent concoctions.
Nice.
Is this
Yup.
a substance I would have encountered before?
Remarkably, no, it is not.
What about
Mental note,
weed?
gonna find some.
Oh, yeah. You've... Give me a roll, just like 1d6.
1d6 sounds
Yeah.
good. Okay.
I cannot tell you how amazing it is to have 5 macro keys, and just all of them are 1 through 5 d6. Like,
Nice.
it's the best.
Crap, I tried and... Oh,
No,
there
you're
it
good.
goes.
Sometimes
I
it
got
just
3.
takes a sec. Okay, so no, this is not something you've heard of before.
Okay.
Or maybe you, like, heard rumors about it and wrote them off a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, there's certainly nothing like Dream Titan back on Tarask.
Oh,
without
God,
anything
no.
That big or... I mean, Tarask has got its own interesting shit, but that is not part of it.
Yup. Yes, this is why you can't sell ethers at sensible prices in many RPGs, Wasby. You're correct. I've decided.
It is
Um,
known.
All right,
Mulligan has no such concern. He has no MP to replenish.
it's true. Mulligan is the odd strength-based scholar.
I mean, again, he's literally just Joseph Joestar in his age.
He is the personification of that comic muscle wizard. What spell do you cast? Haha, I cast fist.
Yep.
I love
I can't wait until Havelock casts their most powerful magic, gun. All right. But I think I prefer it this way. That's fair, Hivarius. That's fair.
It's an experience, and we're all along for the ride.
Oh yeah, I am definitely not making all of this up and Mad Libs style as I go along. No siree, Bob. All right. So, yes, Dream Titans. Essentially living mountains, just enormous, like, awesome in the extremely traditional sense of the word creatures. That just create these rivers of raw ether in their wake. And that stuff is just the lifeblood of Albion. Without, like, raw ether, in the travel notes, it's written that, like, you can, if you drink a distilled concoction made from it, it'll satiate hunger and thirst for an entire day. Or concocted...
Bring your sample jars.
Yup! Concocted differently, it can cause extremely potent prophetic dreams, or can, like, the properties of the stuff are fucking wondrous.
Fuck doing coke about it. Do some ether about it.
I know, right? Distilled incorrectly, it can kill you painfully.
Nice.
Yup.
The problem is I'm sure what we're going for is like we're saying ether, but we're intending AETHER.
We are, but we're saying ether like the stuff that knocks
like
people
laughing
out.
Gas. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, like laughing
I mean,
gas.
You can do ether about it.
You can do ether about it. You absolutely can. I love that most of Victorian medicine, like all of the 19th century's fucking medicine, was just like doctors sitting around getting high with each other or at parties and then realizing, oh shit, this would keep my patients real fucking quiet while I cut on them.
I mean, straight up, Queen Victoria did the marijuanas for menstrual cramps.
Good for
Out
her.
of her time, truly.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
uterus
exactly.
hurts, get stoned about it.
Yeah, exactly. Good for her.
Dude.
All right. Yeah, that is absolutely a fucking mood. Right. So, this wondrous substance seems to be the lifeblood of the place, and just a lot of, from all this data you collate, you start figuring out, like, all right, you'll need to make contact with the people, or alternatively, you can just try to bypass the people altogether and just try to get at one of the Dream Titans. It's entirely possible that the thing you're looking for, the way that the Oracle alluded to it, it seems likely that the idol you're looking for is inside one of the Dream Titans. And you're gonna have to go adventuring.
Of the Colossus about this.
You're gonna have to go adventuring around in there, maybe. Who knows? But that's only one interpretation. For all you know, it's at the bottom of the ocean on this planet. Who knows? Maybe there are.
Climb in the butthole.
Well, from my extensive experience, many bipedal creatures have weak knees.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Oh dear.
Was somebody asking about my knees earlier?
Someone was saying they might need them for research later.
That was not
Glances at my knees, covers them.
Look at these structural weaknesses.
Just gonna fold my robe shut. Thank you very much. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along.
All right. So, Havelock, after you've all spat out all the random information you've managed to gather, it's just like, so, I suppose we should get some gear together and have a good rest, and we'll set out as soon as it is convenient for everyone to do so.
Sounds good. That's the sound of Sedge, like,
Indeed.
quietly weeping over this fucking. Why couldn't he have spelled it like everybody else?
Put a
Yep.
friendly hand on your shoulder. It sounds like you are in great need of a stress nap.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. Can I take this with me?
I
I look around for like a librarian who's going to say no.
Havelock, like, for kicks, just like slowly points their finger toward the book, like in a way that indicates that they are expecting it to attack them at any second. And when they manage to successfully poke the book and it does not react in any way, is like, yeah, should be totally safe.
Good, good. This is going to take a while.
I'm sure. Well, you'll have plenty of time. Time is strange. I can never decide if I've been here a month or a decade. Mayhaps both? Who knows?
Oh my god.
All I know is my mustache hasn't gotten any grayer, and I like it.
It's true. Your mustache is as beautiful to behold as the day I first met you, Professor.
It's very robust.
Last week, one of the librarians told me that an eagle could land on my mustache. I took that as a compliment.
Yes!
I'm definitely picturing fucking Nigel Thornberry right about
Oh god, same! Fuck! Oh, it's so good.
now. Hey, team goal, we've got to get Mulligan to say smashing.
Smashing!
Oh,
Perfect. Yes.
This situation calls for a smashing.
In your life, don't smash.
Oh, fuck.
Let me smash.
Please.
Bringing entirely new meaning to the words "Lemmy Smash." Marvelous. I love this.
Oh
I
my
love this
God.
so much. All right. I mean, unless there's more stuff people want to do in character, I
I
don't.
feel like we're at a good
Yeah.
break point.
I don't
without,
mind
like,
calling
losing
it here.
our cred.
A good spot for it.
All right.
Before we get into the thick of things.
I had an idea.
Yeah.
I had an idea for next time, specifically for because we've had run into this issue where, obviously people come in later and they don't know who we are. What if, as part of this like rotating roster of pictures, we had quick little biops of our characters?
Shit, that's really good because I only have 2 pictures and they're getting real
Yeah.
boring to look at.
Like initially it'll just be like name, blah blah, very brief bio, like not the whole character sheet, but just like the essentials that you need to know about them.
I like that. That's
Um,
actually really good. Maybe
And,
a
like,
picture or
initially-
two
yeah,
while
and a
we're at
picture-
it.
I was gonna say, and like at least like one of the pictures from like the sheet, or eventually
yeah.
like if we get like really devoted to this and get some art made, we could have some of
Ooh.
that.
That would be great. If only we knew some kind of artist friend who could perhaps create things. I in no way mean to pressure you into doing
Yeah,
that.
no.
Like, I have friends I can genuinely commission for things as well.
Yeah.
Like
But
the
just
lovely
like that as-
Transferom. Go subscribe to them
Indeed.
immediately.
Indeed. But yeah, like having something like that in that way, like roughly speaking, obviously we can always introduce ourselves again, but it would just be like, hi, I'm Yin, I'm Sedge.
Yep.
Versus like having to dump in
Yeah.
information about who they are.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like that's a
very cool.
That's a good idea. I was talking to Arcrat earlier, and like my ADHD just did not want to cooperate with me. So I'm like, these are all really good ideas you have, but my brain just does not want to work with them right now. But like, for next time, like I want to have like a sort of intro music thing for like the starting soon screen,
Mhm.
and like, start making this place look like a proper Twitch channel a little.
Just a touch.
Yeah, like
a
add
process.
a thing that links to all of our Twitch channels if that's something we want to do.
Yeah.
I've got my Ko-Fi. Please don't give me your money. You have better things to do with it.
Give him the money. Give him the money. He deserves it.
No,
He's
really,
put
it's
up with all
it's
of
a
our
tip
bullshit.
jar. Honestly, I don't need it for living expenses. Give it to people who do. Like, there are people who need
You
that
still
money, not
deserve to
me.
be happy.
Well, of course I deserve.
Absolutely.
Listen,
I
I have a
mean-
ci- I have a bowl of popcorn and a fridge full of cider. I'm already happy.
Okay, valid. I care about my friends. God damn it.
Same, big same, actually. Go donate to Allie. They could use the money more than I ever could. I did have my first follow podcasts. Oh, it's
Yeah, you're
true.
ahead of me in that. I've not
Gods.
gotten any spam bots that I know
Ugh,
of anyway.
lucky you. I need a. Oh god, I'm gonna need mods if I keep this up, aren't I? Fuck.
Yeah. We're gonna have to
Ugh.
figure that out.
Yep. I'll go whine at Pidge about it.
The curse of popularity.
I know, right?
Go do some pitch about it.
Yep. I
You
think
have
I
ghosts in your chat, so you should do pitch about it.
No, bots. Bots in your chat.
Perfect.
What is a bot but a digital ghost?
I mean, that's
It's
actually
true.
fairly
Riddle me this.
Batman.
All right. While I'm thinking about it still. Oh. Oh yeah, I love all these pictures. They're so good.
Just threw a few up in the characters.
What a
channel.
magnificent mustache. I love it. I hope my mustache can one day be that glorious.
The most glorious mustachio.
mhm.
I am incapable of growing a good mustache. The best I can get is Subway Masturbator mustache.
Oh.
Oh. I have a gloriously full
Winks.
beard, but like my mustache is fine. It's just not incredible yet. Give it time. Right. Thoughts while I had them still. I could make a channel thing for us to do journal entries in character if that's a thing people want, because it would also make it easier for the GMs to have like it would, in addition to serving as cool characterization for our characters, give us like, oh, here's what happened according to everyone who played. Here's what everyone remembers. And that
I
just
get you. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be
Mhm,
both.
mhm.
There's good utility or like, you know,
Yeah.
It would
no,
be a
I-
fun out of game character activity.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Plus
I.
getting more perspective on stuff that's harder to put into words.
Hmm. It lets you add some characterization to things in a good way. And there it is, the journey so far.
Hell yeah.
All right. And, you know, you can frame them as diary entries or quickly typed in logs for character things. And I suppose I should open this up to the viewers if they are so inclined.
They're welcome to come and stare at the nonsense if they
Yep.
want to.
If they are so inclined.
Warning, incoming nonsense.
Yeah.
Warning, warning, Will Robinson.
Tell you what. Tell all of you what. Give me some time to make this place a little more presentable, a little bit nicer.
housekeeping.
Yeah. And then I'll start having people able to come join this Discord if they want, or I can like put all the journal entries and RP stuff on my Ko-Fi or whatever. I don't know. I'll figure it out, or I'll
We'll
just start
work on it.
posting it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
This is the first time we've done this. We
Yeah.
You can take some time.
Mm-hmm.
We are all noobs here.
Yeah. This is not my first Discord RP, but it is my first Twitch RP. All right, but I'd say that about does a session.
Absolutely.
I don't suppose anyone is streaming today that we might be able to raid. Also, how do I raid?
It's slash R raid in the Twitch
Okay.
or slash what is it, slash raid slash somebody. I know it when I'm typing it.
My fingers know it, my brain doesn't.
Who am I following that's online? Oh, Bunny Bennett's online. That might be fun.
Oh.
I love Bunny Bennett. Steam Powered Giraffe is a great band.
Ah, yes.
Let's see. So it's /raid?
I'm pretty sure.
/raid. Ah, here we go.
Good.
Raid, and then channel name is, oh boy.
Channel name is thing you didn't bother to write down. I'm familiar with this issue.
Yup. I mean, I think it's just I type it as it appears, correct?
yeah, you just do that.
Oh, she's doing an art stream. Lovely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Perfect. We can raid into that.
Be free, kitty.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone else, put your rating gear on. It's time for PvP.
Get on your. What's the thorned armor in Dark Souls named? Is that the what is it?
Armor
Like,
of Thorns.
armor of thorns. Yeah.
Does it have to be in brackets or anything?
No, it's just that. as far as I know.
/raid and then channel name. All right, here we
Yeah.
go. Let's see if this works, friends.
Raid.
And attempting to raid.
Hey, it worked.
Oh, did it? Lovely.
Yeah, it
and that
raided.
is her icon. Excellent. It worked.
Off we go.
Away.
In a couple of seconds. And come on. There we go.
Let's go.
All right.
Here we are. More people to follow.
I will just call that a stream right here.